Yeah, that's, I didn't say anything. Yeah, that's recording. TV's must step turned down.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you want
Is the
to?
volume?
All right. Make a motion, to come out of executive session.
And I'll second it.
I agree.
And also, we'll get back, from my understanding, people on Zoom couldn't hear everything that was being said. So we had the pledge and the prayer, and members present call to order, approve the agenda and minutes from the previous meeting. And in the minutes from the previous meeting, as I went home last week, I read over them a little bit better. And I should have read them better in here, but I didn't. And we approved two people from ambulance authority. And if you're in an ambulance squad, you have to put 2 to 3 names down, and you can't specify who you want. And this was specified, but we passed it, we're gonna leave it stand, but from now on, you can't specify who you want. The commission does that. And if you remember back a few years ago, when we wrote that, that's how that was written. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. If any of them comes in specifying who we have to put in, they will be denied. Okay, so we'll move on now to no public comments and,
Can I do this?
yeah, please.
Yeah. So that executive session was, I spoke with a lawyer that Monongalia, Preston, and more than likely Hampshire County has retained to represent in the Public Service Commission moral line case. And we're trying to show unity amongst the counties that were against this. So I had spoke with the lawyer myself, and our executive session, I had him on the phone so that the other 2 commissioners could hear what he had to say. He is basically he wants to charge a $5,000 retainer fee. He also gave us the option of doing an hourly, and that time would be split up amongst the 4 counties and possibly a private individual as well. So the hourly rate would be much lower. And my concern with the 5,000 retainer is that it is non-refundable. So if Public Service Commission would dismiss the application, NextEra's application, then the retainer is gone and there's nothing to get back. However, if we do an hourly right now, just to see how this goes, so that he can represent us, and our names will be on, or Mineral County Commission will be on with all the other papers that he's filing for the other counties. That way we're part of that. And I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and take this lawyer on an hourly basis for right now and see how this case works out. I second that.
Yeah, I agree with that also.
And I'll get an updated agreement off of him for an hour, on an hourly basis, and it actually has a place on here for all 3 of us to sign, so I don't think we need to get authorization just for the president to sign to it.
That's not really a retainer, that's just.
Yeah, it's just an agreement.
The item itself have to be-
What's that?
Does the item itself have to be on the next agenda or? Well, the moral line is on the.
Yeah, moral line is,
Moral line.
Yeah.
And we had an executive session for legal issue. This is the legal issue.
Yeah, I didn't really sure we're covering everything.
Understand.
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion for the president to sign that?
No, it's all 3 of you.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, moving on down, we have correspondence, West Virginia.
Should I ask you, you made a motion, then what happened?
to take this lawyer on an hourly basis
Yeah.
to represent us in the moral line.
And I missed, did you take?
I second.
Okay,
Yeah, they all agree, but
I was, sorry, writing to desk.
no problem.
Okay, the West Virginia State Auditor's Office.
This is regarding the public deposits. This is something they've talked about, I'm sure they've talked about your training for the past 2 years. We are in compliance as the fact that our accounts are at First United Bank, which is on the list. approved by the state. I did have to move my in-office clerk account because M&T is not on that list, and that's where my account was. I've passed it on to, some of the agencies that receive funds from the county, but if it's under a certain dollar amount, it doesn't apply to them. I don't remember what that dollar amount is, but it's a larger amount, so it's not too many of the agencies that receive funds from the county are gonna have, initially, I thought everybody, like Camp Minko and the libraries and all of them were gonna have to be in compliance, but they're under the dollar threshold. I did forward this on to First United Bank to make sure the state tax office was going to send information directly to the banks, but I wanted to send it to our contact, so I'd already spoken to them in person as well to let them know this was coming and give them information that we had from the training. And then also forwarded it to Chris as our chief tax deputy, because she'll probably be the one the public depository enrollment.
Okay, is that it? Okay, then we'll move on down to Cole Community Grants.
Brett Dusenberry sent this and he said just pass it on, and I forwarded on to Jennifer first off, but then I also put it in here so anybody can get information.
Oh, I messed up because I put it on my calendar for tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Saturday.
Okay. What are we to do with this big public service commission? I'll tell you, them emails you're sending us, they got my phone all messed up. Are you getting them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Word to
How
all.
many 100 have we got?
Oh, a lot.
And I'm not exaggerating.
Well, I get, is this just one of the emails here?
No, this is in paper form. Because if the ones that come in email, I forward email, but if it comes in paper form, I also ensure that you
Okay.
receive it as well.
So all these is separate on the ones you sent.
Yeah, that's all just one paper correspondence.
Okay, so.
Now, why they send most of them by email and then occasionally, it seems like every 2 weeks we get one paper one. I don't know what
We don't really need these, do
somebody should be reading them.
we? Well, I mean, the ones, I don't read these, the ones on my phone.
It's the same thing, just paper.
If
form.
anybody wants to see a copy of it, you're welcome to. Cause, okay, we'll move on down to Public Service Commission.
That one you just on.
That is the agreements.
So Mr. Amoruso brought in their 2025 equipment testing and financial reports. But all I copied was the cover letter that stated when and what they had done, but they had these attachments as well. Seeing as I already copied a large attachment, I didn't copy this one too. This is the actual test results themselves, if anybody wanted to see them. Okay?
Hey,
I just gave you the cover letter.
just give us cover that, okay. Tri-Towns, equipment testing,
This one I just covered.
that's one you just covered.
That's what's-
I was digging through that, my fingers don't work too bad, you're gonna have to bear with me. Okay. Why, Jason, is this yours? Why is the minutes in the middle? Why is the minutes in the middle of my packet? Do you know?
You know, let's get your power flip flop in the lab.
Did you do that delivery?
You read them, didn't you?
Yeah, I went over 'em. Okay, Pat and Russo, you already,
No, that's where I tracked down here. Flip one more, you'll see.
well, I was supposed to say, you already went over that, the host.
There you go.
Uh,
There we are.
Fall Rabies Clinic, Saturday, October 17th at the Tractor Supply. Anybody needs your dogs or cats taken care of, Missy will be there. Well, along with Dr. Prano. Okay. Patrick Morrison, I'm pleased to inform you that I have approved the Community Corrections Program Grant awarding Mineral County Commission an amount of $190,199 to Community Correction Program in Mineral and Grant counties. So that's good. Okay. This is a letter from,
The Tucker Community Foundation.
who's signed it? Some more. On behalf of Tucker County Community Foundation, thanks you for your donation to sponsor our Run For event. Again, this year, your continued support is greatly appreciated, so we're glad we can do that. Okay. Pipeline response training.
This was just a pamphlet. You each have one in your mailbox, I believe, as well. I brought your mail down.
Same things I get.
Yeah.
I'll get my mailbox in the house, email. Phone call.
All right, now we'll go down to, give me a second to call it up.
Well, this was the draft letter.
So I found a previous letter that was typed up, by Lou, and, all of the verbiage looked okay, so I just added the 3 significant lines for all 3.
This is a letter opposing the moral line that's coming through. And we need to write a letter to the Public Service Commission in Charleston.
Okay,
Opposing that.
Jennifer, this letter was in response to, they had asked us about different routes.
Okay.
So that like at the end of it, I know it says a lot of stuff about being against it altogether, but then at the bottom, last 2 paragraphs, it says the southernmost route presented in preliminary draft routing option will still objectable in principle appears to be the least impactful among those considered. So
Right.
I think we need to redo that to
Remove those.
remove that about the other route.
Okay.
And then wanted to put some stronger language in there too about the opposition and
Well, that's
supporting the
what-
public.
Yes. We oppose it
Right.
greatly.
Does the public service commissioner, do you have any people that can stop this, like the governor's office or the house, like that?
Apparently, there's what, 3 people appointed to get to make this decision?
Yes.
And that's tough.
Seems like a pretty.
So let me ask you guys this, this is a letter opposing this. Could we make a motion to, that he can come in and sign it? Because if we wait till the next meeting, it's gonna be
Well,
late.
you made a motion at the last meeting to send the letter.
Okay,
So
so,
that motion's in place.
okay, so
So,
you get it wrote up, we'll come in, we'll stop in and sign it. We gotta do it because all the paperwork has to be in to the Public Service Commission by September the 8th.
Okay.
We have to have it there, and the way our mail goes, it needs to go out pretty quick.
Okay. So I'll type it up and send it to you for you to look over and
Yeah,
make sure it looks
yeah.
okay. or-
Yeah. Okay, thank you for doing that. Okay. Board appointment, do we have any board appointment?
Believe so.
Okay. Good health improvement program.
So this meeting, just a few things to talk about for the main courthouse. The entrance door to the main courthouse was, walked around, so it opens the other way now because the wind toward yep, and just so that's complete. We did have a mini split installed in the server room at the courthouse. That's installed and working well. We did schedule, elevator inspections for all 3 elevators. They are scheduled for next month. And then as far as the punch list from the renovation, we do have a number of remaining items that need discussion, and for different reasons. And we kind of were thinking about, we like the idea if you all are willing to walk through and look at these, line items, or is that something that you're okay with us making decisions about whether we need to pursue, whether it's something that we deem not necessary, kind of was looking for your opinion there on that.
If we go through together, we have to make it a work session.
And I did bring copies of the punch list if you wanna look it over and see, you know, what you thought. You know, prior to, there's one for Lauren too, there's one for you.
Not much on there. The print's
So
so
the-
small, I can't see it.
Sorry. And I can email it if
No,
that's.
it's fine.
But the yellow, the ones in yellow are ones that the contractor, has outstanding, has considered outstanding. But there are other things as well that might need looking at and, you know, I can speak to those, you know, I didn't wanna go over the whole spreadsheet, you know, in the next meeting, you know, in the different,
The ones in the yellow is the ones we're gonna be concerned with.
yes.
The ones in green is good.
The ones in yellow are the ones that the contractors still sees as outstanding. The ones in green they see as complete. Some of those we might need to have discussion about, but I didn't flag those, you know, for you at this time, so, yeah. So really right now, the yellow. Now, they did send an email, as well with, you know, some discussion about some of these. And, some things that are not on this list as well that we brought to their attention. So,
All these things are things that are incomplete, but they're saying the green things are complete.
correct. The yellow are definitely incomplete. The green they deemed to be complete.
If we're looking at, we're not sure. if it-
Yeah, some things are. Could be questionable, you know. So, and what I can do to help you all, you know, kind of understand you better, I thought about just creating another column. And if there are any that are, they have marked green and make comments about our thoughts on, you know, the direction to go with those. Maybe I should update that and send that in an email to you all that you can look at. And then we can decide. Forward. Might make it easier to,
If we're gonna go through all that,
yeah, that's a lot.
you're looking at a lot of time.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Is that all you have on the,
Just the only other thing is the courtroom remodel specifically. I've been meeting with, folks from the Supreme Court and the, grant program and gotten a lot of good information, a lot of good feedback. I also met with the judges, Judge Courier and Pancake last week, to discuss some things, that we needed, you know, better direction on. And we have a good, good understanding of where we can go with this. And, there's a lady from the Supreme Court who actually does CAD drawings, who is right now working on trying to make everything that the judges would like, you know, fit into the drawing, taking into consideration those heating registers we talked about at the last meeting, just everything. As far, so they'll have the sight lines that they need and everything that's necessary from the Supreme Court. So, working through that and that process is going well, so.
And the lady that does it, what office?
It's with the Supreme Court.
With the Supreme Court.
Yep, so nothing, you know, nothing, is ready for a contractor yet, but we're getting there and we can go through the press and get it.
Grant people are really working well with
So
it.
that's the grant people are working well with us. I've talked about possible, additional extensions because right now the due date is April 2027. However, depending on how quickly we can get things determined, you know, the details determined, you know, we might need to extend. And she said that's completely fine. If we have, you know, show progress and have reasoning, you know, documented, they're completely fine with that. So they're working very well with us.
Was that a courthouse facilities grant?
Yes.
So will that affect us applying for another one?
It will not. She said, I did ask that. She said we can have up to 3 at a time. So yeah, we would have. Yeah. So we're making good progress there.
okay,
Thank you, Jennifer.
the parking lot millings looks good. They're in 2 places, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, behind this building.
Yeah.
by the annex.
New parking lot down there, but.
I do have a question about those. So we asked the maintenance guys to line them, but there's maybe, were you working on something, Dutch, to,
Yeah, for down,
the bigger part?
yeah, for down there, I'm still kind of working on that. I talked with, Judge Rock yesterday. Doug said that she expressed some concerns about parking, because by contract with Supreme Court, they have they're entitled to 6 places. And I spoke with her yesterday as to what she was looking at or what they're wanting. Basically, she's okay with however we do it, just as long as there are at least 2 spaces for her and Judge Haynes that are close to the door, for them to get at the door. And, I told her that once we come up with a good design, that I would get with her and see how she feels about that.
And then I just have one other question about that. So Tara from Community Corrections, said that originally, before we had this stuff, the plan was that their folks were going to begin parking in that, outside of the annex rather than behind our building. Is that, is that the plan, or is there a reason?
All that being part of the plan.
No, I didn't know anything about that, so I just wondered if it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess.
I think she have children. Five.
One of them's in Grant County. One of them places in Grant County.
Yeah.
So,
We're probably looking at 4 or 5 spots.
yeah, because she uses the one spot for her vehicle and the back.
Yeah, she uses a spot right in the alley for hers.
Yes, right for
Okay. And I don't see where that'd be an issue.
it. It would make sense. It's right near her back door.
Right.
Well, there's spots back there too.
Yeah, which would be really nice.
Yeah. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. First, health department, it's just, I haven't talked to AJ, the last few days, but it's pretty much done. He's getting ready to set up a date to have like an open house showing of the new buildings, so. Little minor ins and outs, but other than that, it's pretty much, done. Opioid funding.
All right, 3D recovery, last year, we, gave them money or purchased a van for them basically to transport, those in recovery to jobs or meetings or whatever they needed. So they reported, finally got me a report, a couple months ago. I really wanted to go through the receipts. They gave me a bunch of receipts. I have copies here for you guys. There's a mileage log and copies of gas receipts. And then also a copy of their insurance bill, pay their insurance. So I have one here for you, Warren. So their insurance was $1,361.45. The gas receipts comes to $743.62. And I did not add them two up. $2,105.07. And they've logged 5,364 miles. This 364 miles. So that is, you have a list here of all the logs did, where they went, and how many people was in the van. But I would like to make a motion that we reimburse them $2,105.07.
I'll second it.
I agree with it.
The other thing I was asked about, K9, helping with the K9 fund.
The vet fund?
What's that?
The vet fund?
Yeah. And been trying to get with the committee, of course, summertime, people on vacation and going and stuff. Right now, trying to set up a meeting for September 15th so we can get together. We want to talk about that. We also want to talk about, there was a woman that got in touch with me about getting an application to use opioid funds to buy a or to get a canine dog. And then, Mrs. Gannon, his table, I think it's called. She had put an application in at the last round and there was an issue that we couldn't get with her. And she still needs to get with us and present. So we've just been trying to get things set up. So right now we're looking at probably September 15th.
What are they looking at, Canaan?
This woman, I forget her name.
She wanted for our sheriff department?
Yes,
Okay.
It's Margot Road Truck.
yeah,
It's Margot Road Truck. She's with the Sheriff's Association.
Margot,
Margot. She does the Aflac insurance.
I know who she is.
Our canines are getting ready to age out of the 10-year line. I'm sure Joel can tell you more, but I know other counties have used opioid funding towards some law enforcement stuff that, you know, where they didn't have to take it out of the budget. So she'd asked me and I'd given her Dutch's information because I knew he was the representative on the committee about reaching out to me on an application with the possibility of using funds for that HNK9. I believe, I don't know sure exactly, but Joel, is it 10 years now or almost 10 years?
It's not a 10-year mark, I believe it's 5.
Okay, well then all three of ours are over, I believe, the 5-year mark.
Everyone, all but one can technically be retired. We have 2 that will be retired in January. Leaving us with 1 patrol dog and 1 bomb dog. Which the bomb dog is a single purpose dog. It's not basically as essential as a patrol dog. Bomb dog is a specific needed item for one specifically.
anyway, looks like we're gonna get together on the 15th of September. That's all I have for you, Judy.
Okay, update on Moore line. Anybody got anything?
One thing you may want to know, Colby saw an article,
Yeah, just posted on Metro News, the Attorney General wrote an order that West Virginia First isn't gonna get any more money from future opioid funds, and it's gonna go to the State House, and they're going to distribute it as needed. There's a huge article, it just
What
posted
was
today. West Virginia Metro News, the Attorney General made a ruling today about it. Well, he made a ruling last week, it just got posted, today, at 4:06 on Metro News. So I don't know that it's gonna affect the counties, because it says that there's gonna be more money going to municipalities and things with the way things are going now. So they had to change the way the funding was gonna be. You'd have to read the article and I could do some research. It just popped up on my newsfeed and I clicked into Metro News and read it.
got better. And then
Okay, yeah, so I'm looking at that. Okay, so we'll come back to that Moore line in a minute. The Feral Line Feline Association, Cindy? Are you ready? Or which one of you ladies is speaking? I don't, maybe Cindy was, she's the young lady.
can I give you?
Sure, you can. You're more than welcome. Thank you. I didn't know, I thought maybe Cindy done all the talking.
Am I supposed to stand here? Wherever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, wherever you, yeah, and if you, however you wanna do it,
Come on.
however you wanna do it, you feel.
Just state, just state both names, because this is recorded and in placed on YouTube, so.
My name is Kathleen Brock. And I'm Cindy Hall. And we're trying to, well, first of all, I'm sure you can all agree, or we can all agree, that the feral and stray cat problem is a big problem here, major problem.
Whether you like cats or not, it's still a problem. And a year ago, we started a group in Mineral County. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. It's Feral Feline Solutions, and we've been meeting for about a year. And we have really made some good accomplishments. And our goal is to come up with a cat sanctuary in Mineral County, off into the country, probably somewhere located in the middle of the county, where cats, we can trap and make sure they're vetted, and the cats go there and they don't leave there. They stay there, and That way they can't reproduce so much and. We
Or
just-
at all.
Or at all. We just want to make a difference. And if any of them are adoptable, we will adopt them out, but that's our goal.
Just as an example, see, 29 cats were left at the pound, either today or yesterday. Friends of Felines took 14, they took 2 mothers and 12 babies. Even though they don't really have the space right now, everybody's full. All the sanctuaries, all the rescues are all full. So this would probably take some of the pressure off of them. And it would be mainly feral cats.
Yeah.
And if they do have kittens, we would adopt out the kittens. We would make them friendly and adopt out the kittens. I have feral cats right now in my basement. And I can't take any more, but this would take some of the pressure off. And we would get all the feral cats or most of them off the street, but we would need people to let us know that, they have ferals. And, we're trying to get a building, like she said, and it would be all contained. They would not be able to run free. They'll go outside, but it'll be all fenced in. And like she said, we'll vet and we'll spay and neuter and they can live out their lives.
I came to see you all about 4 years ago and, you said at that time that there wasn't any help, financial help, and you suggested that I go to the animal control and get a trap. They would loan me the trap for a deposit, which I did at that time. I took your advice and I have spent like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of dollars of my own to take cats because they're dropped off at the Woodland Inn. I live above that. And the old Woodland Inn, they drop them off there and they just keep multiplying. And because I trap them, I have to feed them outside. So they come and now I've got probably 15 outside, if not more, that I take care of and feed and try to get the rabies shot and everything. But I mean, that was a great suggestion, but it's just not enough.
I have trapped and spayed and neutered at my own cost too. Something like 110 since I moved here. I was from New Jersey and I moved here 10 years ago. And I started Friends of Felines and Ferals and wanted to retire, but that didn't work out real well. So I'm still doing it. I foster for them and I have a lot of fosters in my basement right now. We get them all vetted. They all have their shots. They get spayed and neutered before they're adopted out.
But tell them, like the main reason you're here tonight is your property.
Oh,
We don't
well,
want you
yeah, but
to do anything, but.
well, I live in the airport edition and I know we have covenants. But, and I also live in city limits. But I have a double lot and I have a barn on my property. And I was wondering if we could use it temporarily to house some of the cats. Because people are calling us daily and there's really nothing we can do right now except spay and neuter them. We can't take them because we have nowhere to keep them.
Lauren,
I'm full, I have,
Lauren, what's the gentleman's name at the windmills up there? Remember? Yeah, back off.
John Leckie.
John, are you in with John?
Yes, he started this.
Yeah, he was
John and I
telling me about
started
that
this.
down at the library last fall, down at Burlington.
Right.
Burlington Library, he was telling me about that. Now, they take them someplace else too, don't they? Don't they,
What do you mean?
don't they transfer them to some other county or something, some of them, they don't?
No,
I must have misunderstood him about that, because I was thinking they did, but
No,
they
we-
have a lot in.
Friends of Felines and Ferals, Susan Kessner, runs it now, and if there's cats at the pound that are friendly, she tries, because she's full, she tries to find places for them to go, other rescues in other towns and states even. We transport for her, so we've taken cats to a lot of places. But
But that's not the goal of the.
that's the goal, is for us to have a building and to take the ferals.
So you got a barn that you could keep them in?
I have a barn. It has electric.
That's city property.
I was talking, I believe when I was talking to, Cindy was the one I was talking to, because you have, homeowners association regulations, but then they're also in the city and they have regulations, so you have to stay within their guidelines. It's nothing that the county has any
So what are the guidelines? for
Doesn't it say farm animals?
You'd have to.
I've never read the covenant,
Yeah, you have.
but I think I was told it says farm animals. Cats aren't really farm animals.
We can check your, restrictive covenants and see how they're worded.
Because I mean, farm animals aren't gonna run around and reproduce like cats do. It's a real problem.
It is. In my
Just not-
neighborhood alone,
Stop.
we have ferals everywhere and they all come to my house to eat, but
But yeah, if we could check into
Along
that
with
and
the stumps.
see. Do we need to do that or?
You, if they should be online, I would think. When does the airport go?
Yeah.
It might be too old then, we're only back.
And I
to
bought it
72
because it
online.
had, we bought that house because it had a barn and we thought we could, because we did cat rescue in New Jersey too, where we lived. And we thought that we could do it here too, but then they told us we couldn't.
And then I don't know if the city has any ordinance at all, I don't know.
So call city hall or whatever.
And see if they have an ordinance, and then, we'll check the restrictive covenants on the property and see how it's listed.
Okay, but also we would like some help or cooperation, you know, like sending people to us if they have a problem. Once we have a building and everything.
Getting the word out.
Get
Joel's
the word
been very
out.
supportive of us. And the health department lets us meet there once a month. We've met, you know, every month since last year. We're over a year now. So we do have some good community support and we appreciate it. We just need a little boost and
I did it.
whatever you could suggest that we did. We are trying.
You together?
Yeah. I'm spending all my retirement money on cat care.
Me too.
Must be crazy, huh?
We have, right now I have 27 with the fosters that I have.
I don't like to see 27 of them walk through my yard, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I love to see a cat walk through my yard once in a while. Cause it takes
Well-
care of the mice, it takes care of the chipmunks. I love it. And if they're.
These squirrels where I live, maybe that's why. I'm down here and I thought, there's no squirrels. Do you have squirrels?
No, but I don't have baby rabbits anymore either.
Cats don't bother squirrels too much. They will rabbits,
Yeah, oh yeah.
but,
We have no rabbits either.
Do you have any suggestions or?
so
I
you,
mean,
now, when you say you need help,
Well,
elaborate on that.
we would like to find a place to have it. And we're not being very successful with that.
we're even thinking about just going temporary right now. When we like to get property and do it right, or find a good building that would, you know, work for it, but even now, we're just trying to maybe find a temporary place like her barn.
Have you talked to a realtor and asked them, tell them, okay,
Yeah, we looked at some
We have.
properties.
And we've looked,
We were actually hoping, there's some property on Nobley Road that Burlington Children's Home owns. And they're not really using much of it right now, but
Out towards Ridgefield.
what's that?
Is that out Ridgefield area?
It's right there at the intersection almost of 50 and Nobley.
Yeah.
The old lighthouse church was.
Yes,
That's,
yes.
Oh, I forget what they call that, but
It's
they're,
the Meadow Campus, I think, or something.
yeah, yes.
I mean, I work with them. I do music there.
Yeah.
And I know them, but we just went to one person and that was the CEO and she said, no, it's not available right now, but we're not gonna stop there. We're kind of gonna maybe pursue it a little more because they could use the money. I know that. And we have some funds. We're trying to get some grants and we are working hard at it. So, but if you know of any properties or any way to help us or any way we can get funding through the state, or I know
have you
you're.
done an article with Liz about what you're doing and what you're,
Those beavers?
yeah.
We should do that. Maybe
You
do
should
an
put it
interview
out
with
there,
her.
maybe somebody will,
That's true. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Watching. Yeah, I heard you talking about that. She may reach out to you.
That,
Since she's
Right.
watching, she may reach out to you.
she is, Liz. I listen.
Get hold of me, Cindy.
Get a hold of her, she said.
I'll do it.
That's one of the.
You know I will.
Lauren just mentioned Mr. Patch. Of course, he passed away a few years ago, but what a lot of people don't realize, a lot of farmers, not all, but a lot of them loves to have 2 or 3 or 4 cats in their barn. Yeah. They love it.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't spay and neuter.
I know.
That's the problem.
That's the issue, I know.
We would have to get it done first, which would be fine.
Yeah,
We can do that. If they'll accept them, we're willing to do that. If they'll take some, so. maybe Liz can help us get the word out to farmers
But
because.
the ones they already have too need to be spayed.
And then people drop them off. I mean, I go down to Higginson's farm a lot and they have people drop cats off all the
Yeah.
time. And so they're tired of it, you know, so it depends on the farm.
Burger King has probably 30 feral cats living behind their building up on the hill.
Is that right?
And we have volunteers that take care of them.
We do, and we have spayed and neutered probably 100 of them, but people keep dropping them off. And they mostly drop off pregnant ones. That's the problem. And they'll have 5 or 6 kittens and then we have to catch all of them and spay and neuter them.
You know, I can remember back in Lawrence too, when I first come in, this was an issue that we've dealt with this for the last 12 years that I know of.
And I've brought this up before at meetings. Everywhere I lived in New Jersey, you had to have your cat licensed just like your dog. It wasn't expensive
Right.
unless they weren't spayed or neutered, it was a little bit more. But they don't do that here. And I know there's a lot of farms, but
We're lucky to get them to register their dogs.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Wait on it.
I always wait. Everywhere I lived, it was January and here it's June. I'm like, I can't.
Well, I
Or
know
July.
one guy that farms would probably love to have some cats around his place. I'm not gonna mention no names, but,
We already see that.
he's got a barn
They-
there. Don't you?
People, if they see chicken houses or barns, they just drive up and drop off.
I know.
Oh, you got a lot of them over at your place?
They drop off the chicken houses all the time.
For 5 years in a row, a female cat, a different one every year, because I would always catch them and spay them. Would have kittens under my neighbor's garage. Or shed, whatever it is. And I would spay and neuter them and adopt out the kittens, but it's a big problem. You see them everywhere.
Do you wait till the kittens are old enough to have them spayed and neutered before you adopt out?
Yes, we do. We spay and neuter before we adopt out. We don't let them go unless,
There's a lot that comes
Yeah.
down off the hill. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot that comes down off the hills. You get a lot of foxes.
Sweat Hill.
Like above the moose, they're up behind like,
That's
up
where I
towards the
live.
high rise.
That's where I live. I
Yeah.
live on Beacon, right in front of the New Creek, whatever that is.
We actually have
Water's
people involved in this from all over the county, Piedmont, Ridgely, Carbondale, Short Gap, Fort Ashby, Burlington.
Yep.
So yeah, Kaiser, of course, we've got it covered. And Piedmont has a real problem. They're having a problem with violence with cats, people running them down just to get rid of them, so.
Well, a lot of times Missy from the ACO, she calls us and asks us if they're gonna tear down a building to go trap cats. And we did that, I think it was in the fall, I did that, and it was a man's house who burned down, and it was actually his cat. We caught the cat first, and it had been shot. He was full of pellets. I've had a lot of them that have had to have their legs amputated because they were shot, because people are just mean.
Well, Piedmont just cleaned up a bunch of properties. The city retained that ground. I mean, it might be worth talking to Piedmont City if, when they clean that up, they have a lot of lots, they may be willing to let you do a bit.
We have a lady on our group, that's from there. So she works for the city, I think, the Western, well, it's not Western, it's Piedmont. She works for the city, so, and the mayor's been coming down, so.
You all meet monthly?
Oh,
Yes.
And what's your average attendance on those?
Well, during the summer, it was only like 8 or 9, but in the winter, it's like 15,
You mean at the
sometimes
health,
20.
you mean at the health department?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I do. Usually the third Tuesday of every month, but I think we're changing the day, Thursdays. But if you can think of any other suggestions, you've got our brochure and our number and email and everything. We would appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, I would just wanna say thank you for what you are doing.
Yeah. It's a problem
It's a
for a
big
lot of
problem.
people. I don't know why people has animals, why they don't take care of themselves.
I don't know.
Putting them on somebody else. I mean,
It's honestly taking over my life. It
I have
really is
got-
crazy.
yeah.
It's ridiculous that I can't just turn them away and not feed them and.
I have gotten up because I've started Friends of Felines and Ferals. I have gotten up in the morning with a box of kittens on my front porch. What am I supposed to do? I have to feed them. So, thank you for listening and
Well,
Thank you.
and if somebody wanted to contact you, which number here is the one here under the local veterinarian for spray and neuter sector?
I don't think our phone number, we don't actually have a phone number yet because we don't have a place.
Oh, okay.
But you could take
Email.
yeah, there's an email.
There's a Facebook, if you QR there too, they can get that,
Yeah.
probably message their Facebook.
Oh,
page.
yeah. And we do have an email address.
The reason I ask you that, I know a young lady from Grant County that healing's similar to what you're doing, and I don't know what she does with them, but I was gonna contact her and,
Is it doe eyes?
no, it's,
Oh.
no.
Do you want my or her phone number or?
Yeah, I'll take it if you
Okay.
want.
Sure. 301-707-0640.
Oh, 6 1.
Oh, it's on, what?
That's on YouTube, so I don't know.
Oops,
Oh, I didn't catch the last. I don't think anybody else did.
You might want to come closer to give it out.
After I said it, I wondered about that.
Oh, that's you.
I'll contact, this young lady.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah,
I work in radio anyway, they're gonna find me anyhow, probably. Yeah.
okay.
My name by that. Thank you.
I'll get a hold of the young lady I know and see.
There's a similar program in Marion County that I'm not sure who all funds it. I don't know if the county helps or not, but I'm gonna check into it. But it's a pretty good program too.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see if we can help any at all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Be safe.
You too.
Okay. Okay, the moral on the. Now, if anybody, I do want to make this announcement, if anybody wants to send anything in to the PSC, it has to be there by September the 8th. It has to be in their hands by September the 8th. If not, they reject it. So just to give you a heads up on that. All right, mold removal.
So we purchased the ceiling tile, for the ones we talked about in the last meeting. And the maintenance crew replaced those and they were much appreciated. Now there are still items left on the, that we have not addressed yet. So we need to think about those, but also we need to think about, the reason, I guess, for the mold in the first place was the flooding from that door. And, is that gonna could that happen again? Do we need to address the real, that problem, the actual cause? So, that's something, if we were to walk over and look at, items at the courthouse for the punch list, we were gonna ask, do you wanna take a look at that too? And then maybe we can get an idea, do we need to have a contractor look at what they think, options that we could do to stop that from happening going forward. Because, we fix things that are affected by it now and it happens again, you don't want to repeat the process, so. Use that a possibility to do that at that time.
Come up with a work session date.
We need a work session to talk about the budget too, so.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll set one here before we leave. All right, Comcast lines agreement.
So since we have a meeting scheduled with a representative from Comcast for September 1st to get the final look at reducing those costs. We've canceled work with Lauren and Cindy to cancel, I believe, 3 lines already and have that meeting scheduled to look at additional cost savings.
Okay.
And the sheriff and Jordan,
So the dedicated line for your office for the cameras.
Yes. I think we gotta look at a few other things before we fully commit on that though.
Is that part of this conversation on the first?
No, it's not.
It's not.
You have a time set up?
I believe it's 10 a.m.
That will be here?
Yes. Well, so, I mean, we'll be here, Tammy and I will be here on that call.
What day is that?
September 1st. But that's really
September 1, right?
just to talk about the existing lines and, money, cost savings there.
So they're not offering
That's
that's other
not-
stuff that's coming in to
We've.
make the best deal for everything, just.
No,
I
there's
don't really
nothing that.
feel like he's understanding, like, I mean, he's a salesman,
Mhm.
but we're trying to condense and save.
Right,
And I just don't feel like he's offering what we're,
yeah, well, the ask for the cameras is something in addition to what we have now. There's really nothing, right now, I guess it's using the bandwidth for, the network that the buildings, here are on. And it's just creating the issue with lag and, things like that. So, it is something that needs additional, attention or an additional line or additional resources in one way or another. But, it sounds like Joel's needing, someone to look at what other options or to do some, diagnostics to see.
same for Jordan, he's kind of on his own too then, is that.
Well, Jordan, yeah. He's not having issues with, bandwidth. I think he has a project now that he's working on, as far as their phone system goes, and that's just aside from what we're doing here, so.
County, if you're bringing in like the Road 2111 line and then breaking it out to all the offices that need it. Then you just pay one monthly fee for that line.
So there's a PRI right now that, and I'm not certain who all is using it. I know that I believe it's located at the, 911 center. I'd have to, and I haven't dug into, all of that yet, but, it's just.
I talked to him
cameras
about,
using the-
I talked to him about having one just high dedicated line and branching out there where all the buildings and stuff. And I think that got lost in the conversation.
I still feel like he's getting.
I don't think he's getting it either.
You might want to reach
That's
out,
why I wanna be here to be on that meeting.
you might want to reach out to Derek Haynes, because I know they dropped a T111 line there. And he runs it to the tower, but he pays a
Right.
single fee and just runs it to.
Well, that's kind of how a PRI works. It's a multi-channel line that, it kind of connects to the phone system and then, all of the buildings that make calls go across that multi-channel line. So I think that's what's set up now. But this would be a data line that they need for cameras. It's not a phone line. That's just a voice, solution. A PRI is a
Okay, so I'm talking more data,
yeah.
and I mean.
And I'm not certain what we have for data for the buildings here, but I know that they share. And it's,
You could be paying for multiple lines.
Well, for multiple, they have the courthouse, then they have.
Every connection, we're paying for every connection, and that's what I wanna get away from.
Yeah.
And he's missing the conversation. I think he missed my conversation with him.
I mean, you should have a server room and it kind of branches out. The county should only be paying, I would think, one fee.
Well, we have one for the main court, one for the main annex. Then we have, there's only like 5 of them. I can't remember.
Servers?
No, the lines. Counts.
The T111, I believe is the old high school, I don't know if I was down there. That may be what I asked him.
I'm almost certain we already had.
You shouldn't be having multiple lines, because that should feed.
Counts.
You're talking.
I think we need a
Massive data.
assessment of what we have and what it's used for, because I don't have a good. And you're just.
Truthfully, and Cindy said, do you want the last one? And I said, I was in Milltown. I said, no, you can handle this, because we had all the accounts there. I said, just we need better pricing and better deals and close what we can close and consolidate what we can consolidate. So I really haven't spent much time on it myself.
Well, I feel like this, where I came in, I guess, and I understood was just, we're trying to get cost savings for what we have now. This is something I would like to look at in the future, you know, is how it's structured and how to do that better. But that's a bigger project than this right now, just talking about cost savings, but
I feel like we need to.
and maybe it needs to happen.
I just don't feel like
Sure,
he's,
background, right?
I mean, we've had how many calls with him and I feel like we're starting all over again every time we have that conversation with
Yeah.
him. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we need to look at 10. I think we need to look at the like bigger picture ones.
So,
What we have.
you can have people in-house.
I think that's kind of maybe where it got to where it is now. I don't know. We need big picture, what is.
Well, we had
Where,
everything
what's
going through the whole improvement project and the old courthouses, things just got added. It's just
Like, yeah. So it just needs a relook, I think.
There's been a lot going on the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Jordan's got a hand raised. Oh, Jordan's got his.
When you guys have that meeting, I understand that you're gonna look at the county contracts at some point, but what the 911 center has is what I've submitted to Intrado when it comes to the bandwidth. Intrado is our new phone system. They're actually coming to us as well on September 1st to do a site survey, but I can't lose any bandwidth or I won't be able to run the new phone system. So just throwing that part out there, if they're talking about consolidating or changing or doing something, what we have at the center has to remain the same because we're close to a threshold anyway.
Yeah, we weren't thinking about consolidating yours because you had your own line. If anything, I think, didn't you ask for more?
Yes. Because of this project coming, yes.
I think there are a lot of pieces, there are a lot of pieces that we just need a good, handle on what we have, what's at 911, what's at this building, what's at, and who uses those lines for what purpose, just to see how maybe we could do it better.
We've got the courthouse annex, the commission annex, community corrections, the Brinkman building, the law enforcement building, then, dog pound and health department line, the nutrition office. So there's a lot out there.
Agenda Brinkman booth.
No, actually, that's one we just closed.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a.
I currently have a request into Comcast. We're having an issue with Parks and Rec's office calling 911, but nobody's in the building to call. So those phantom calls are a problem we're running into. But one of the things that Cindy can't see is the breakdown on the bill of what is associated to each account number. So I sent Comcast all of the account numbers that we have associated to Mineral County, and they're going to give us a breakdown of what each account number has, what numbers are associated to those. So those will be coming, and when I get them, I'll forward them.
Well, about 3 weeks ago, my office was calling 911 and it wasn't us.
Right. So one of the things they're saying is the third-party vendors that are used. So if I call your office or some of the courthouse or some of the county numbers, is there a press 1 for this, press 2 for that? Do some of the offices have that?
No.
So there's no number that I call that would say press 1 for Lauren or press 2 for Jennifer or.
When the customer calls, there's an automated system when you call the circuit clerk's office, but not when you call my office. We have a person answer our phones.
So some of the third parties that do the routing, so push 1 for Lauren, 2 for Cindy, some of those third parties are having programming issues that cause those phones to call 911. We run into those frequently, but the Parks and Rec office has been the most frequent. We've had 14 calls at all hours in the last 2 months from Parks and Rec. So Comcast is digging into that, but part of calling Comcast is I didn't know what account number that 5732 line was associated to. So Comcast is going to break down every account number that we have with what lines associated to it, because that physical address was also incorrect. when Parks and Rec was at another location before they went to 68 Armstrong. Their address was registered at 107 Armstrong. So the whole telco thing we'll have to visit at some point, but bits and pieces we're getting better answers.
Jody told me she's getting calls for Krista's office. She was just thinking,
Jennifer, that should advantage probably needs to be in that for his issue. Which when I was having that issue and I called them and then they charged us $85 to say having a problem with the phone system. So that's one of those places I don't think we should have to pay the $85.
okay, so you're done with that. All right, what about the Advantage computer communications
Okay.
service here we got?
So, at the last meeting, we, had received the quote for, with the options, 1-year option, 3-year option. And if you have it in front of you, there's an option to cover the phone systems, hardware and software. And then there's also an option to cover the phones themselves, not just the physical phones. So I looked at some of what we've been paying, invoices that we've been paying over the last year, to Advantage. And it's like those types of things have been, changes, I need so-and-so's extension on my phone, or we need a line moved, or, things like that, so they're legitimate, things that Advantage is doing for us. That's not something that's covered under either of these options for a service agreement. So I talked to, my contacted with them, actually today to see if they do some type of, service agreement for just, those types of things. Service call, or, support, things like that, changes and adds, moves, changes. And they do, I didn't get a formal quote, so I don't have it in the packet, but, he said it looked like we're paying roughly between the last couple of years, 3,500 to 4,000 a year for those types of things. They can do a service agreement for $300 a month, which, would equal out to $3,600 a year. We could try it, if we wanted to do that, we could try it for 6 months, see how it goes. And then stop at that time or continue with it, or we can, continue with, each, request. The thing is, over the last year or even two, there have been a lot of, department moves, people moving around, so those were more, occurring more often. I don't know that that's gonna, be something, recurring. So if we wanna stay away from that for now, and then if we see that, we're having a lot of costs, we can always explore that option. So that was just something I looked into, as a possibility. But as far as the phone systems themselves, we need to, decide what kind of coverage we want on those. And then, if we want any coverage on phones. My recommendation would, if we do anything on the phones, would be the up to 10, repair or replace, because we're not gonna, we're most likely not gonna have that many phones fail, in that period of time. They're kind of, their own,
Okay, so the phone system, the first one is for coverage for hardware coverage and software coverage, but it doesn't cover the phone.
Correct, it's the phone system itself, so the actual phone system that routes the calls and stuff, yeah.
So how much was that?
So 1 year is $4,595, $4,495, and a 3 year is $9,995.
Here's my question, if you get into a service contract with them, you still gonna get a service fee when you make that phone call?
Well,
Because that's the problem I had with the initial setup with the cameras. We had my understanding of the agreement set up with them for a service contract. When you called them, you got charged a service fee for that phone call.
well, so that's what we're differentiating, so this is only for hardware and software, so. If that phone system, has something failed, it's a hardware issue in that phone system, like it's in the actual server room. that would be covered under this. If it needs software upgrades, that would be covered under this. If we call because, there's an issue or we wanna, extension changed or something like that, that's not covered under this. So that would be something we either pay for, or an additional, this support service agreement, I guess, is what they would call it. So. On the word grant.
25.95 a year.
1 year.
How much was it for you?
Every year, so
10,000.
1,000. Or about 1,000 something. Or we don't, or we decide not to have any coverage on phones and see how that goes, maybe that's something we add at a later time.
When do we have to know?
It expires the end of this month. So, I mean, if we don't,
We kind of have to have hardware and software.
on the phone systems at least.
So
How much is,
395. But we shouldn't have to replace it.
Yeah, I'm thinking go with the 3-year coverage on the hardware and software and then do per phone if there's an issue with the phone
If
itself.
we see that getting crazy, then,
Yeah. We can work it out.
they're pretty flexible, I feel like, as far as that goes, if we wanna,
Yeah.
something in addition, so.
And we're not gonna be making as many calls now. When we moved, we had a lot of issues with the phones
Right.
and the setup. And now that everything's stable, everything
Settled.
should be stable.
Yeah.
And one of the thing is when we do have to make extension changes, we need to get together and do them at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have some experience with that, and I can possibly help do that myself, so. Can save a call.
I've asked for that to be done for a year and a half, it's yet to be done.
Just adding extensions on. different
Changing the
things.
extension
Oh, I
is
can-
on there.
Okay, I'll be talking to you about that.
And you can talk to them.
I
See,
mean,
the
this,
thing is-
this is not you, this,
Oh, no,
there's a call been made to have somebody come in and do this, but it's.
Well, Bob has been great. I've called him at 5 o'clock in the morning on election day. I said, hey, Bob, guess what? I forgot. Can you turn my phone on? He's done that on weekends when we've had early voting, when I forgot that we needed our phones on. So they have been great to work with in that sense. But it is like when I called him about my phone's calling 911, because 911 called and said, somebody called, no, nobody called 911 here. But then we got charged me $5 when I called him and said, my phone's calling 911. So I felt that's kind of a system issue, not a,
Yeah.
service issue, really, especially since he's still doing it with Parks and Rec. But,
That's not carrying the badge.
All right, what do you guys think?
I'll say it again, I think do the 3-year coverage in hardware and software.
Make a motion.
then
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay.
is there anything to sign? Because this is a place for signature or anything.
Well. Yeah, there's not a place
If
for
there's a
signature, I
place
guess.
for a signature that I would make the motion that the president sign that.
Okay, I'll find it out.
If nothing else, we'll add a line to this one. That way we have it for our record.
The 3%.
Yes.
Okay.
And no coverage on individual phones. We'll just wait as we have issues.
All right, that's Comcast out of the way, right?
That's a service agreement with the Danny.
Advantage, yes. Now, building safety,
Have you
Committee.
talked to anybody that's interested in being on the board or anything? I think everybody has so much going on right now.
Yeah.
hard to get somebody on.
But we need, 2 members at large? Most of them were designated by their place of occupation, but then I think we needed 2 members at large.
So keep searching.
Yep. Nothing on for today, right?
All right, energy grant.
So, we did receive the last quote for the, AC, the units in this building. And
Did you receive another one, you said?
just today, we
Oh.
just received it today.
Okay.
And I have copies to give you guys. And I guess so we just need to decide, well, we have until, October 30th. That's when the grant, we have to use the grant money. So,
That's approved.
Yes.
So let me ask, we have one from
We
where?
have three.
We should have done with who's the other?
Dave Watson, Parker.
Plus in the Peters for we good. Okay, I didn't see those two.
We got one,
They're in the packet
Yeah.
there. Oh,
and we also got one from, did we get one from, what's his name? Towards it. Okay, for the Western Forest.
We got Dave Watson
Southward.
and Parker, Salty or Parker.
And Duckworth.
Is that what you got today?
We got one from Duckworth, yeah.
Today? Okay.
I don't know today.
Might have been today, I'm not sure, but I didn't see it.
That's for 480, so.
Those were the three. Other than, if we gave you a lose, it might be in there.
Hey, just hit button.
Who's
Man,
released?
there's your. She. Say, also.
I don't know.
I so I might get a lot of that.
I don't think you put one in.
Maybe a little bit.
Now we're, he's on.
I
I got him ready to order a pizza.
You want me to go out and get it?
You got, we're,
Yeah. Oh,
no.
Who's yours?
Alan.
Well, she was
Open your drawer and see if there's a loose one in there. So if there's a one part of your packet,
You got all three of them?
she handed this other two in the.
You
They
were
weren't
just
like
making
your
copies.
packet, but royal.
I didn't bring mine down. I was
where is that? Into the hand, I don't have it.
Great. I got everything else. I have it.
She's loving it. She's.
That's it, did the last one.
Okay.
Parker's. You got Parker's? Yeah.
There, Jason has it there. Can you make copies?
The copies. Please. I don't know. You don't need my copy. All I had was, oh, yeah, I got Parker's here. I got Parker, so she just make Dutch and Royal.
Dutch already has Royal Air. I don't need Royal Air.
You just need Parker's?
So I just need Parker and Watts. That's Dutch needs Parker and Watts.
I don't think I covered. There's one in left in.
Yeah.
There's some guys.
Better just make copies while you're there.
I will.
Yeah. They were paper put together when I was doing the minutes and I thought, oh, I had this in there. I thought it was one and then I realized it's two different quotes.
Find something.
I'll say once. Yeah, I got. Well, I had my Parker.
Oh, sorry.
That's sorry. Not a problem.
And Watts. Do you need Parker and Watts? He's better than. Right on there.
It's on the. Well, we have 3 units, but the grant is for 15,000, so we just need to decide if we only wanna do. You know, one or two, or, you know, at this point.
Am I looking at it, the Duckworth is the lowest?
Well. Wait a minute, there you go.
Did you actually have like a bid posted, or you just asked for quotes, or?
I believe we just asked for things.
Yeah.
Now, is Duckworth for 3?
Yeah, the first one said the first price, and then it says the second and third units would be each. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I misread that, yeah.
Well. Duckworth is the cheapest one, right? They approximately 8,000 apiece.
What would be over the grant, so we could do all 3, or we could just do 2.
Well, we could do 2, we would have, still have to pay a little bit, but not much. Which places needs to be done the worst, do you know right off? Then you know right off.
Not all 3 of them need to be replaced.
Well, I'm pretty sure this.
If you do 2 and don't do the third one, won't it be harder in that older one to do? I'm not a AC guy, I'm asking you guys.
These are including getting the unit off the ground up on the wall. So
I don't know that, I would have to ask Tammy. She, communicated with the, you know, the, companies that get the quotes. So I'm not sure.
No, it says hook to existing, but
now, if we do this, we definitely need to get them off the ground. Get them fired so that
So we may need to revisit
protect them.
the quotes.
I don't see where the quote should change that much.
Okay.
That shouldn't be that much of a difference. I don't think.
That's just depends on where the lines come out, if you head out high or something down low. Let's take a look. Fire commissioner, the lines coming out up high and the other ones are down to the ground level. With no extra. No extra,
They would replace those, and probably replace it.
it was coming straight out.
Yeah, they would probably replace it on the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their sugar sweet tea. Pretty well.
Saying that we would want the outside units to be bring out the grant.
Up off the ground, yeah, it's.
So we can reach out and see if that, how that changes. Quotes.
no, are you using it up off the ground, or are you talking up off the ground, or even up on the roof, like what?
Doing them on the roof, like, get them off, or a simple bracket, you can get them to hang on the wall back there. And get them up off the ground, so there's a part of the back there, to warm.
Do you want?
Perfect height level to where you bump your head into it.
Right.
That works.
We do the boxes if you drop down the alleyway, we actually keep them clear. Keeps the condensers clear, because they're not. It's like 4 foot where you get on dirt.
Yeah, you get, anytime it rains and stuff, the dirt will splash up on it, that affects it and hurts it. You get them up higher, gets away from that dirt, but it also keeps the, because they're so low, people backing in there. I know I've gotten really close to it a couple
I'm
times.
surprised they haven't.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody's put one into a wall yet, so, and, you move it a little bit and that line gets kinked, then you got a problem, so.
Okay, so we have some time, you know, before that grant expires, so I can get some more information.
All right, see what you can pull it in, at least for one person there, that's the cheapest, Parker one.
Perfect. Maybe you just want to call him and ask him if that included getting them up off the ground.
Yep.
outside.
Are you making a decision on one of them?
See what you come back with. One of his costs to getting them up off the ground.
You for doing all that? Okay. Order for elected official bond.
Every year, it was brought to my attention back in 2023, that every year that we should do an order, for the official bonds for elected officials. I did miss doing one last year, so there's actually two in front of you. This is per West Virginia Code 6210, bonds for county officials, officers. And it's through our West Virginia Risk Pool is our, the company that provides the public officials bonds. It covers the sheriff deputies, the county clerk, and the assessor. So there's one here for 25-26, and there's one here for 26-27. So I was requesting a motion to approve the order and authorize the president to sign.
Motion to approve the order and authorize the president to sign.
I'll second that.
Is this all we need right here? So you can-
Yeah, I have the originals, don't have those.
all right. Okay, resolution.
Well, actually, no, next item is the Parks and Rec.
Oh, that's right. I didn't look at that up. The one coming up. Parks and Rec, director title.
I don't see any reason why Cody shouldn't have the title as director, and I don't know why it wasn't done as well. I kind of do, but I'll make a motion that we recognize Cody Wilson as the director of Parks and Recreation.
And I'll second it.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, future correction.
That's there in front of you. So you have the resolution, authorizing the president as the act on behalf, but then also to, when you make your motion, to approve the schedule of payments.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
We have to list that. Does that have to be part of the motion for each of those dates and the amount, or?
Well, that you approve the resolution and that you approve the payment, schedule of payments.
I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution. That authorizes Roger Leatherman, Commission President, Mineral County Commission, to act on its behalf to enter into a contractual agreement with the Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services to receive and administer grant funds pursuant to provisions of the Community Corrections Program and according to the schedule listed here.
And authorize the president to sign the schedule.
And authorize the president to sign.
I second that. I see.
Okay. Software systems.
This is our yearly contract with Software Systems. This is the system that takes care of the sheriff's tax collection, the assessor's supplement, as well as payroll and accounts payable. It is on a monthly per call, and we are billed monthly per call. We make very few calls to them. But it has your basic monthly charge for each of those items, and you can see it as it has each thing's listed. the supplement, the accounting, the tax collection, internet and the payment online, which are all beneficial to the customers with the online inquiry and online payments.
So there's two levels here, is this correct? One is just a base agreement, and then the level two charge looks like it has that you could do 5 calls a month. Am I reading that correctly?
The number of calls are showing us how many we had last year.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure that refers to how many calls were made on that subject last year. Yes, in the following list, you will find the number of calls we received from your staff, return your staff, or had computer calls regarding those.
Do we need to still pick level 1 or level 2 or just? I don't think you just do level 1.
So I think we had is just that, and then. Sure would have hoped I read it first time.
Level 2 is just indicating the extra calls that are in there. Is that what I'm reading right?
Oh, actually, it says here. Unless we hear from you, we will continue to bill you for the same levels you selected last year at the new rates. If you want to make changes in your level coverage or have other questions, give us a call.
I think the level we have is sufficient. Like I
Yeah,
said, we make very few calls. You can see the number of calls.
yeah.
Guess let me get motion.
And-
We stay at the, where we're at.
And I think a lot of that too was again, moving and so forth again, so.
Yeah.
To
second that motion.
approve the contract, the renewal, approve the renewal at the same level.
Yes.
And that was authorizing the president.
Yes.
Okay, Jason made the motion and Dutch seconded.
Yes.
All right, new hire for the bailiff.
Doing a very good job.
How do you pronounce his last name exactly? McMahon?
Man,
Mannon? McMahon? Okay. You gotta watch how you pronounce people's names and crazy. Man, I never met the guy. Okay, do I hear a motion?
Yeah, right.
What do we need?
We need a motion to approve the new hires.
Oh, hopefully we already did this.
Steve will make.
I'll make a motion we approve the hire of Mr. Stephen McMahon.
And I'll second that also.
I agree.
All right, we want the sheriff approved 2026 settlement payment sheriff commission. Are you gonna divvy that out to some of us?
already did, sir.
You can share the wealth.
Okay.
And because of the tax collection and with the new change in the law, they did meet the 30,000 commission.
Okay,
And that has been deposited into general county. Because there was a couple things the auditor went over on what had to be presented. He presented the letter, which we were already in compliance with that, some of the other counties weren't. Presented the settlement, presented the documentation, from each of the levying bodies, amount paid for the commission, and then what I did make a copy of was the actual receipt where it went in.
okay, do I hear a motion to approve the settlement payment to the sheriff's commission?
If we don't make the motion, does that mean he doesn't get the money?
We'll make all in ones.
He's gonna share it, guys.
Well, I'm sorry, but do you wanna deal with Jess? Cause I don't think it.
Yeah, go ahead, Dusty.
I'll give her your cell phone number.
I'll make a motion, we settle that payment. Payment.
I'll second that.
Approving the 2026 sheriff settlement and payment of the sheriff's commission.
I agree.
All right, How about the purchase of a new K-9?
Again, probably by the beginning of the new year, not fiscal, but January, we're going to have possibly two, one for sure, possibly two dogs, are going to retire. We will not be, set up to get to canines, because I believe one of the handlers at that point will not be looking to be getting another canine. So, and with that being said, there's going to be, I contacted the kennel, which will be used for the canines, because of what they are and how well they are trained. We have to look at prior to the purchase of this, and hopefully before the full retirement of at least one of the canines, we look into an 8-week training for the officer to attend with this dog to become familiarized with him and build that bond. I'm waiting to get quotes from the kennel on the cost of the canine, but we all know they're not cheap. So.
It will be like, reserve one. How long does it take? And should,
Waiting on kennel to give me the quotes, and I can bring that. I mean, possibly get a work session scheduled with you guys just to discuss that and let him know, and that way he can be looking for, canine to fit our needs, to fit in that time frame.
What kind of a K-9 are you looking for?
Well, it will be another, control, narcotics and apprehension.
Joe Byers. What would you call him? Byers.
And no, Dutch Chihuahuas don't count.
What's that?
Chihuahuas don't count.
Chihuahuas don't count.
They're good ankle biters though.
Hey, you look good with the chihuahua hanging in your arm right there. Be cute.
I can wear it on my head. But I'm not the approval right now, because I knew that there was gonna be some discussion regarding possible help through the opioid, but I just wanna make you guys aware that we do have two coming at the first of the year that they're gonna retire. And of the, one of those two officers, we will be replacing that. We need to replace that. Right now, what we have is really worked well, and our canines excel through canine seminar. And keeping at least one canine per squad is going to be very, very beneficial.
Is that all you have on that for now?
That's all I have on that for now.
Or what about additional manpower?
So back up one second. So do you want this on the next agenda again then?
Yes. If I can get the quotes in prior to that, and you guys have the time, maybe we can get a quick work session and to cover that. Because again, we're looking at, we don't have a whole lot of time between now and the beginning of the year, especially if you gotta throw an 8-week training session in there. So
Just gotta get them through. Yeah.
that way, if we can get the quotes in to see where we're at, get a meeting with you guys to discuss that, and at least to let him know, yes, we're going to do that. That way the kennel can be looking for a suitable fit within the time frame for us. And again, any and all the canines that I've seen, not just through the seminar, but what we have that come out of there are exceptional. And that goes to tell you about our handlers. I mean, you're not just gonna have a canine and not do the training and put the time in and expect them to be able to excel to the level of the canines that we have. So our guys work very, very hard for the level of canines that we have.
Okay, additional manpower.
Once again, seeking at least to get one more manpower, one more officer added to our ranks, which would give us that floater that we were looking for. There are some things in the works right now where we may have one officer soon be retiring. I'll have to get with the clerk and look into getting another test cycle started in order to get some qualified candidates to select from, at least to replace one if they do retire, and hopefully fill another spot if you guys feel the need for it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, what about, discuss vehicle allocation?
Spoke to, captain and lieutenant. And we're looking to possibly first of the year seek the vehicle allocations. That being said, we're able to get the allocations in January. We won't receive the vehicles until later that year, September, most likely October. So they're not gonna come out of this year's, this budget. It'll come out of the next fiscal year budget.
It's all the cars we got on the road.
We still have 3 that need to be updated.
There's 3. How have they been sent?
What did we say? The two are 24s and one's a 26? Or 25, 26? The new Tahoe, isn't it, a 26?
Very fine.
The one bought in October was a
26.
26. Yeah, it was bought in October, yeah.
So we got 2, what now?
Two 2024s and a 2026.
They've been setting that on since 24.
Well, when did we get them? That's the year they are. I don't,
That's a year, I don't know, mine got them 25. Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know when we received that.
I don't know either. Can't remember. Do we need them on the road?
Yeah.
Well, why can't we get them?
Working on it.
All right. Got it on that?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, we'll think about all of everything. Manager's court window, did anybody listen to?
So, yes, so I reached out to Jonathan.
Jonathan did come in,
He
okay.
did, yeah, met with them, we spoke to Magistrate Inarso as well. Looked at the space and, Jonathan's gonna give us a quote, I just haven't received it yet, so I'll
Okay.
reach back out to him,
All right,
see where he is.
I went over and looked at it too. Judge Rock, has a place for a window for hers, but hers has to be bulletproof according to the Supreme Court. So her window, it's just boarded over. But eventually she would love to have one, but I don't know how much bulletproof glass is. Yeah.
Your TV with an outside camera.
be a lot cheaper.
That's all. That'd be a perfect idea.
Okay, then we'll have to think about that then, we'll wait till we get the quote on it.
So this is a quote from Judge Rothschild.
Well, you wanna get a quote from Judge Ross, since we're getting quotes from Jonathan?
A separate quote.
A separate.
Yep.
Separate.
With bulletproof glass.
Hers would be, it's already there, it's already cut out, it's just covered in, but the glass.
I have no clue how much, get a quote on the camera, that shows outside,
And a big screen TV, make it look like she's looking.
cheaper to buy on a nice television, look in, look outside and everything. Stuff's crazy. All right, Lauren?
Okay, so we're getting closer. So today was supposed to be the day of the ballot draw, but there was no need to have a ballot draw today. We only have one local candidate. Opposed. I gave you a copy of the candidates, that will be on the ballot. This is not the order in which they're gonna be in,
We got
and that's it.
two local. Three, don't we? Got three local.
Well, the other ones are state races, federal and state races.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, federal and state races, because we have US Senate, US Congress, State Senate, and House of Delegates, and then County Commission. We also are going to have a constitutional amendment, which I put a copy of that, Constitutional Amendment 1. more or less saying citizenship requirement to vote in West Virginia elections. That this amendment provides that all elections held in West Virginia, only citizens of the United States who are citizens of the state are qualified to vote. Is it for or against? And then, of course, the only other thing that may be on the election will be the next item on the agenda. The dates, I did confirm all my dates, for the election. I don't know why I didn't put a copy in this. I'll have to email that to you. So you can set those dates for the public test on your calendar, which happens to fall the same dates as our commission meetings. So we just have to schedule times, to before or after the commission meetings. And then still working with polling location. We may have to adjust some of those, sending those letters out to confirm locations.
Now, I thought you had to show your ID now to vote.
Yes, yes. This is just to put it in writing that they have to be, with everything going on in the country, that you have to
Well, I'm in
be,
favor of it.
Yes.
I'm not opposed to that.
yes.
Yes, I agree with that. You want me to mark my vote for now and okay. Is that all you have?
On that, yes.
All right. Let me read it here. This, that's, if you could do the levy.
That's the next
on
item.
the Authority, that's next.
Yes.
Next. Okay. So, is this going up any,
What, so,
the levy for the ambulance?
so the levy that I requested you guys to consider putting on the ballot would increase the funding for the ambulance authority to make funding that the fire side already gets. Currently, the ambulance authority receives around $270,000 a year in funding, and fire is north of $700,000 a year. Person per taxpayer, it's not a large hit, but in the world we operate in, ambulances, which I brought a list of them here that we have. You can see, we submitted, they're old. The newest one we have is a 2019, and that was mostly insurance purchase from where New Creek was involved in an accident, and the insurance replaced the truck cab part, but the whole box is still on it. The ambulances cost now, for what we need in this area, four-wheel drive truck, you're looking $300,000 to $500,000. 10 years ago, they were $200,000. You know, when most of those were bought, they were $100,000, or just north of that. We, in the last 3 years, in the last 3 years, the ambulance authority has stopped fully reimbursing maintenance on the ambulances and went to 50% reimbursement. But I did run a report for a 5-year time period to show that in 5 years, the ambulance authority has paid $437,505 for vehicle maintenance for the ambulance fleet in this county. And that's only going to get worse as parts get older and the price of everything has went up significantly. We used to reimburse the departments $1,500 a year per ambulance for their insurance. We have not done that anymore. And multiple of the departments in the county now are paying either employees or a pay-per-fall system to get their ambulance covered and get their ambulance out. And I would say that the 4 busy departments in the county, which I would say Short Gap, Fort Ashby, Kaiser, and New Creek, probably their payroll between those 4 would double or close to double the current ambulance authority tax levy. So that's my ask. We discussed it in the ambulance authority meeting, the last meeting we discussed it, and there was a motion and it passed for me to come here and ask you guys to put a levy, which she figured out the numbers on to match the total income for revenue would match that of which the fire levy is. So we're gonna have to buy some new ambulances and upgrade our fleet. And
How many, I know you probably don't have to figure it off the top of your head, but, compared to fire, making calls versus ambulance authority? What would you say?
Probably, man, I would guess 75%, 80 wouldn't be scary to say. So I would say 70 to 75% just ambulance. But the rest of the calls out there, every time the fire unit goes somewhere, there's 90%, 99% of the time there's an ambulance being dispatched. Now, I don't want to discount the fire and I don't want to take away from it because new fire trucks cost $2 million now. So there's nothing cheap. New fire gear is pushing $5,000 to outfit a firefighter or more when you get into the air pack. So I don't want to discount the, and if you look at the counties around us, I know there's been some speculation as to, it's a last minute thing. All I'm asking is give the taxpayers a chance to, be educated in the next 2 months and, vote to help us or not. And doing this is still a much cheaper version than any of the counties around us operate. Allegheny County is a different beast. Their population is huge and their budget is overflowing. But Hampshire County they have a budget, a fee and a levy up right now. That I don't know what they're doing with that.
A lot of counties don't do that.
Hardy County, I just saw Mon County announce that they're re-upping their levy, which their levy is going to produce $5.1 million if it passes. We're asking for maybe around 500,000 additional dollars. Just north of 500,000 additional. That sounds like a lot to people who don't pay attention. My guess, and maybe I'm wrong, Lauren, correct me right now. I'm not asking for more than about 60 to 75 cents a week from your average taxpayer, something like that.
Not per week, it's just.
Well, I'm just saying per week, if
Yeah.
you listen, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
some huge number. We're not asking to
No.
increase your taxes. It probably, last year I paid my taxes and I think my ambulance authority contribution was like $26. So I'm not asking for, a huge contribution, or a huge change in anybody's taxes, but we can't.
Well, to move this along, I'll make a motion that we add that to
That is a ballot.
the ballot, I'm sorry, the levy to the ballot, I'll get it.
I second that. I have to allow the citizens to make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well.
And just to put that on point, I will go anywhere, any community, anytime and speak on what we do with the money, how we spend it, what we're gonna do, what trucks are hurting and how much money we are saving by still running a volunteer system that's paying ourselves and you guys aren't holding, 25 or 30 employees and, round the clock service countywide. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, just to be clear, because like you stated, the fire is at 2.00. Ambulance levy that is currently in place is 0.79. The current levies were voted on at the last election. They began as a 5-year levy. It started this July. This levy that is going to be on this election then is only for 4 years. It'll start next July. So it'll end the same time as the current levy. So then in 2030, when they all both expire, they can be combined into one.
You were just voting one levy, then you're not pushing.
Right, right.
Yeah, we're trying to raise some additional funds with this. So, and I have,
0.21 cents per 100. 1.21 cents per 100 on class 1. So class 2 would be 2.42 cents per 100.
I appreciate it, guys. We will get out and we will work and hopefully the taxpayers support us and, we really need to buy some new equipment, ambulances.
The EMS, the ambulance authority, wanna put this out there, and I don't think it's right for us to shoot it down. Put it out for the people, let them vote on it, other people vote on it.
Agree.
Thank you.
I think you're just giving the people a voice.
That's right.
All right, this Office of Emergency Management Ambulance Authority Funding Survey.
Hey, so I've never seen that, but I know it was coming out. And I know you were gonna talk to people and get it taken care of and answer questions, so and I appreciate that.
Okay, so I did, I spoke with Eileen and Woodard, and they completed the survey. It's just needs to be, doesn't exactly have a spot for the commissioner's signature, but it has a spot for their, here, I'll just, it's 2 pages up, and probably.
The names and.
Yes, so they completed it and we just need to have it, completed and sent back in order for them to get their funding from, the House bill that was created specifically for their fund, so.
That's tricky because the majority of that money is for education, training, some equipment. And, there is a separate pot of money there that they set aside, thankfully, for, mental health care and for first responders. And that's something that's never happened in the state. So that's a big deal.
Okay,
So they completed it with the information, it would just need, I wanted to bring it today because, obviously it has the commissioner's, information, it doesn't necessarily have signature,
Just have name and a
yeah, so
cell phone number. Do we need this, have this through today, or can we put it on next agenda?
it needs to be, submitted by September first, so it
Just
doesn't
needs to be in today.
Excellent, yeah, okay.
And it is an item on the agenda, it was posted on the agenda.
Okay.
just
got a question here, one. Colby, I'd like to ask you, you might know this, is asked there, are the agencies in your county short-staffed? How much are they short-staffed?
I mean, a lot. I mean, you.
I know
so-
you're short-staffed, I was just
Yeah.
pointing out.
Oh, so the agencies are so short-staffed that, Fort Ashby, Short Gap. Let me just, Fort Ashby, Short Gap, Kaiser EMS have all hired employees, Short Gap and Fort Ashby, full-time employees to run the ambulance and pay, a lot of money. And that's because volunteers, it's not, people are working around the clock now. There's not, there's no single family, the percentage of single family incomes don't exist like they used to. And there's not people home during the day to volunteer. So we do the best we can to cover and take care of the community. So yes, how short staffed, some days it's great. Other days it's, you take a driver and you make a crew response one and you go to the hospital. So it just depends on what you have.
Well, I know that's why the chase car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The chase car is still doing that.
Yeah.
Did you want a copy of this?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, but I don't think that I have a lot, I mean, it's more like questions per agency to ask, so I don't have a lot of super valuable information to add myself to it.
Jordan was going to be on the call, he's still on the call in case there were any questions.
Looks like he's got his hand ready to go.
When Roger was asking about the staffing, I called each chief of the organizations or a representative from the organizations and spoke to them. The state is looking for active runners, not just roster. And I make the comment, we didn't ask for the fair or the football EMTs because those are the ones that like to come out of the woodwork for those events. But the ones that get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and actually run. A lot of the organizations said they have 3 or 4 drivers. That's it. 3 or 4 EMTs. That's it. 1, 2, 3, maybe EMTAs and a handful of paramedics. And that's what you can see in that line of the active. So that is a combination of all 9 agencies that are the volunteer agencies of how many people get out of bed and actually respond, not who's on a roster. The responder information that is there. I had a meeting with Jody Ratliff, who's the director of the Office of EMS today, just to clarify some things with him. And he said that information is data for him to take to the legislation and continue to fight. So he's going to say, look, we have an organization or a county who runs 4,000 EMS calls in a year, and they're only running it with 18 paramedics, or they're only running it with X amount of EMTs. So that data is not going to impact the amount of money that we're going to see. That data is just going to help Joe to continue the fight.
Well, and Jordan, that data for me, if this levy now passes, the departments that are having to supplement with full-time personnel during the day, there has to be a metric and a solution to put a little bit of money back into all the pay per call or payroll, maybe not a lot, maybe it's 12% of, if you take everybody's combined and you pay 12%, to put some money back where it's being done, because those departments doing it on their own guarantees that there's trucks, staff, and people there to take care of problems, and is a huge cost savings overall to the county. So that's the importance of all of this, and that money there will help with equipment and down the road funding and everything we do as well, but it's just not, you know, we've been really lucky for a long time and operated on not much funding, so.
We make a motion to approve this.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve this, what do you call this?
Survey.
Survey that Jordan and Eileen filled out on our behalf of the county commission.
I'll second that.
And I approve of it. Okay, discussion of the approval of maintenance changes. Do you want to address that or do you want to do this?
Sure, I can start. So we would like to bring back the managing of the maintenance crew, to our office. For several reasons, it kind of makes sense because we're really doing that. Anyway, have been doing it for probably the last 2 months. They're working with the crew, managing jobs. Pretty much, do it. So we kind of just want to, I guess, make it a suggestion to make it official that it be managed out of our office.
Where's it now?
Tammy's doing it. Tammy's pretty well took.
Doing it,
Okay.
I guess.
It's in your office.
Huh?
It's still under this office.
It's under this office, but it's
Yeah.
under Tammy's doing it. She took
Yeah,
Okay.
she took some of the responsibility.
so she's taking, so Tammy's taking on the role
Yeah.
basically of doing that, managing the maintenance crew. So we, wanted to just make that suggestion to have her officially be take on that role.
And she's doing a very good job from what I've been told.
Yeah, she's doing a great job and it's a good.
And
Yeah, I'm still having trouble. That's where it is, where is it changing from?
it used to be,
Well, Doug was taking care of it.
yeah,
He's been too busy.
it used to be Doug and then she Doug.
That was always under this office.
Yes,
It's
it's always,
open.
yes, it's always been
That's
under
where
his
I'm
office.
confused. I'm like, it always was under this office. So, okay. I thought I missed something. Okay, I'm with you.
Doug's not doing it. And.
He hasn't really since he took over. the-
Exactly,
Been
and.
busy.
Right.
But see, Candace was kind of overseeing it a little bit, but it put a lot on her, and then when Jennifer come on, we kind of talked to Tammy a little bit, and she took it over, but, along with this, I think we need to give her a little increase. Because she's taking on a lot of responsibility.
Yes, she is, and she's doing a great job. Like I said, she's been doing it really for the last at least 2 months,
Yeah, I
probably.
was gonna say 6 weeks or so,
Yeah.
at least that I know.
She's really doing a great job, and she's deserving of it,
So,
in my opinion.
what's your guys' thoughts?
I agree. And she's taking it on and she's doing a good job. I don't know, what were you thinking as far as, giving her an increase?
But she follows up on the jobs, she goes down and makes sure they're done, I don't know, I was thinking around maybe 4,000 or 5,000 a year. Well,
Would you want, give him a payroll clerk 3,000 with the responsibility and nothing towards Tammy? Believe me, I love Tammy and I even told her that
oh,
today.
I don't wanna see it, I don't wanna see this
When
lose
you
anybody.
work, look at the workload, and to think of, the other offices and what they're dealing with the people on a daily basis. Tina sometimes barely gets time to get up and use the restroom, she's so busy. And, the number of people that we have come in and are doing this in my office, and I know the tax office and the assessor's office. The number of people that we deal with and the phone calls and all that. There's a lot of people in there that have a much bigger workload on a daily basis. Nothing towards Tammy. I love Tammy. She's done, I told her today, she is doing an awesome job. But like I said, last year, even just asking for a couple thousand for the payroll clerk who is, 20 years in. And, she's just now making $50,000. After 20 years as payroll clerk, she can go anywhere and probably make 80,000 in a blink of an eye. That's a bit, quite an increase,
What do you guys think?
especially when you're talking about maybe possibly looking at all the employees and
Well, we have, I asked you about that,
I figured it out and I didn't bring it tonight,
because I'm in favor of giving all of them an increase.
which is why we have to have a work session to look at our budget because we have a very small budget. It's very tight, but the rollover was small, and everybody's wanting money and all these projects are gonna cost more money. And we're gonna be short. We're gonna be very short at the end of next year. So we
Is
have
there
to,
anything the county commission can do to increase revenue without increasing, straight up handing a tax out to the community or the citizens? I don't even know if that's like, I don't know much about that, but it's terrible to hear you guys sit here and you guys sit here knowing that the amount of money that people don't make but work in this county every day in any position. And knowing that you probably all three would like to do something about it, but you don't have the money to do it. And that then if you do it or try to, you're gonna catch a bunch of flack, for lack of better terms. We're trying to do something to pay the people that live and work here every day. You're in a terrible situation. I wish there was a way you could do something to raise revenue and be able to give the employees of this county a decent little shot in the arm, because it's tough. I know it's tough.
You can raise revenue, but I don't want Alice mad at me. I don't want everybody else mad at us.
No,
And we've talked about this down the road when Doc and Jerry was here, and we agreed not to do that. And I'm not in favor of putting tax on the people. I am 100%.
I know that. I didn't know if there was any other option.
Yes,
Do it.
but that's the only way I know of, right?
It's,
I don't know of any other way. Do you?
state's gonna keep taking money from us.
Sure.
And that's the thing, in the blink of an eye, they can pass a bill that takes a big chunk of our money.
Yeah.
When they were talking about the video lottery, if we would have lost that, we already made major cuts last year.
And look at what they tried to do a few years ago with Amendment 2. If that passed,
I would have put a hurting on
Yeah,
everybody.
and at any time, that could happen.
we'd be going to Charleston all the time begging for money. That's,
And the thing of it is, right now, that most people does not realize that our regional jail bill for the last 2 months has been in the 50-some thousand dollars. And the state is doing absolutely positively nothing to help us. That's coming out of our tax money, which it should come out of state money, it should come out of municipalities' money, but it's not. It's coming out strictly to county money.
At least you guys are paid up on it. I remember when
Yeah.
when you first took office, you had
$962,000 in debt.
yeah, it was terrible.
Numbers I'll never forget. And I'm
It
serious
was,
about this.
the jail bill was terrible.
But it's going, if this continues, we're not gonna have enough in our account or in our budget to meet the regional jail bill if it keeps going up, because we're not getting no help. The state is not helping us. So that's where we're at. So what do you guys think about Tammy then? Let's get back to the item on the table.
It wasn't on the agenda though either as an item.
What do you wanna do? Do you wanna wait till we get the agenda? You think she would mind, or what's your thoughts, Jennifer?
Well, so it doesn't, because we had to discuss and approve maintenance changes, we didn't say, I guess.
Right.
Changes.
I mean, I'd like to give her something. I just throwed that out there. I know what you're saying, but I'd like to give them all a raise. Love to give everybody a raise. And I've talked to you about that before
I
this
should
year.
figure that out. I just didn't print it out. I'll email it to you.
So when can we, earliest we can do a work session to go through the budget, see how we can help the employees? Until you guys.
Well, we gotta look at, you guys, we had to cut every single department. We did not cut postage, we did not cut advertising, because those offices that have those requirements are requirements by code. We went over in postage and we went over in advertising, but we didn't get any extra. So we cut everybody's professional services, material and supplies, and travel. Everybody went over much professional services, material, because everything costs more, and yet everything got cut for this year. So guess what's gonna happen next year? Everybody's gonna go over because you cut a budget they were already over in. Now, we had a small carryover, you're gonna have to look at probably those areas first to put the money in, because we're still gonna have to buy the materials, we're still gonna have the professional services, we're just not gonna have a pot to pull it from if you're spending it elsewhere. So we're tight, guys, we're real tight.
You're tight, I know that.
It's the millions on the parking lot instead of the paid parking lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. Better dirt. Right. It's better, it's a lot better than the gravel that was there.
That's why I think you really need to look at a work session, look at the budget before you go spending money elsewhere.
Well, then let's just carry that over into the full session,
Okay.
okay? See what we got.
All right. And we have to, the court, we have to match that grant, right?
It's
Grant.
it's an 80/20.
8120. Okay, that'll be carried over, 911 increase.
Now, what he's
Well,
asking
wait a minute,
for,
we need to approve, Tammy on the work orders and stuff, the maintenance changes, do we need to put her on that?
it's already there.
It's, you already got that on
Well,
page.
she's already, that's what they're already doing, it's already been in that
It's
office.
good, it's good, okay,
Yeah.
all right, good deal, I just want to make
Something they were
sure.
already doing, that's.
All right, what do you have?
So the salary increases for July 1, everybody, all the courthouse employees, law enforcement, extension office, they got the steps. But several years back, Mr. McKenzie had removed the 911 employees from wage and review and no longer receiving the steps. So come July 1, when everybody else got an increase,
They did.
community corrections even, and AVAL, 911 employees got no increase on July 1. Now, Jordan, is coming into this, and so I kind of came off and said, you know, we gotta look back in July 1, the 911 employees didn't get an increase, and of course, they have a, performance evaluation and, a pay raise, plan based on the percentage. That he is requesting, this is just for discussion, it has to carry over to the next agenda because it wasn't posted on the agenda. But he was requesting $5,000 to distribute to, I don't know, how many employees are up here now?
It's going to go to 7 of the dispatchers that are, because the other ones are too new to receive it.
Okay, but you have 9 employees altogether then?
I think, yes, and that doesn't include Eileen or Rachel.
So technically there's like 11 employees up there, but, in prior years, but when you said request too, I want to make it clear, they're not giving $5,000, they're approving that out of the 911 fund. That's
Correct.
coming out, but not general county fund, so I didn't want you expecting, if they did approve it, that you were gonna get money from general county to 911.
No, it didn't. Luke already in his pre-plans that were there had that increase pre-planned to move forward with the 5,000. And again, yes, you're right. It will impact 911's funds, not the county.
And, so this was just for discussion, it'll carry over to the next agenda, based on if that amount is approved, which is what's been approved for the past couple of years. Then they have a evaluation, how it's broken down per employee based on the number of times they work or work over, or
It goes by it goes by their QA score, so how well they're doing when they interrogate calls. It goes by discipline, it goes by attendance, and it also, and with that attendance, there's a higher percentage for those who are willing to pick up the overtime to cover while we've been so short.
They don't.
Did the EMS response one get a bump?
No, they're hourly employees do not get. Just the salary employees.
So,
They're the only ones that, salary
So
employees are the only ones
Jordan
qualified.
and, Lauren would have got a bump, didn't she?
No, she's hourly.
Hourly salary because of the overtime.
So that's some things to,
Okay.
and that's again, this is where we talk about it in the work session.
Listen, we can work on
Things
that.
we need to look at.
Yeah, we'll work on it. This, that comes,
It's just the thought.
that comes directly out of the animal story too.
This was late on the agenda, so it's a discussion, it's not a, approval, it's just to give you a heads up and follow up for.
Okay, so we're gonna, what's your thoughts? How much money was it, 5,000?
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
discussion today.
Just, I'm saying that 5,000.
That's what he's
5,000.
requesting.
Okay,
Distribute them on 7 employees.
So I think that's what's been given over the last, 5 or 5 years.
And when we consider 911's budget, I came in lower than what the budget was already there for the director position. So some of that 5,000 will be eaten by what was left over, what was extra budgeted for me.
is that gonna leave you in good shape?
Yeah, my 911 fees are increasing. With that being said, my landline fees are decreasing, especially with fiber coming through. Fiber lines, instead of giving $5 a line, we're now at like 62 cents. But again, the 911 cell or the wireless fees are increasing. So this 5,000 has been, I mean, when you look at the budgets that Luke has created, had them created for years out, and he has this increase budgeted, and we still will have a good cushion. I'm not concerned about the increase as far as it impacting the 911 money.
Okay, so we'll address that next meeting. All right. So we'll go down to. Yeah, we'll go down to discuss the 24th cycle West Virginia Courthouse Facility Improvement Grant, possible project roof on the new law enforcement building.
Okay, so this kind of stems from renovations that happened at the courthouse and the other building. So there was a leak in the law enforcement building, which we worked with the company that did the renovation to have a roofing company come out, and we were trying to determine whether the leak was due to the tie-in work that their subcontractor did, or if it was due to something else. So they were talking with this company, they had a roofing company, they had to come look. We got a bid or a quote for a new roof from them, but we still have questions about whether they feel like
The warranty.
the issue was the
No,
tie
it's just-
or if it was something else, because there are places on the roof, holes in that rubber matting on the roof that we don't know if that's where the leak is coming from.
Is that just on the back part? Not on the-
Yeah, it's just on the back.
Just on the
part.
back part?
Yeah.
That's an old one, okay.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
it tends to go there.
Yeah, I know where it goes.
Wasn't that part of the original project?
Huh?
Why wasn't that part of the project?
I don't know. The whole roof should have been.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but it wasn't.
So I'm
I
trying
tell you
to,
what needs to be done. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying this. But the door to the roof needs to stop being used.
well, there's HVAC equipment up there.
I know, but it's been used for a lot of other stuff. I know that to be a fact.
Gotcha.
And that's what needs to stop, because people walking around on that roof, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
On a flat roof, that's not good.
Right. So the fact that they got this quote, it kind of came in at a time where we were looking at, uses for that 24th cycle, facilities improvement grant. So, that was something that we could possibly get, because the application deadline for that grant is, I think it's September 25th. I'd have to look to be certain. Well, so that's what we're wondering, should we apply for the grant to be used to
Yeah.
replace that part of the roof? Because it's an 80-20 matching grant. So it would be, assuming the costs were 80,000, it would be 16,000, leaving the county with 16,000 to cover.
Yeah.
We didn't know whether to apply for
Whether,
a little more, just looking at the courtroom project, where we found the bids are low now, because we're a year later, doing the job prices have went up. So we're just kind of wondering,
just see my estimate, guys, can
this is the only estimate we got, just like I said, it came in, from what we were looking at already with the, punch list items from the renovation, so it just kind of came in at a time where we're trying to decide what we can apply for that grant, to use that grant money for. There are other projects that we could do, but I don't know that we can get things, prepared in time for that application process, because it's coming up.
we use courthouse grant? I think it has to go towards the
I
courthouse.
specified that with the grant, Shelley from CFI, yep. we said it.
It's facilities.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
As opposed to for security. For security is just
Yeah.
for,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to get other bids? Rather for the grant?
Not for the application process. At the time that we would be ready to bid out the job, then actually bid the job, we would ask, they do try to have us get 3 bids, at least
Okay.
3 bids from 3 contractors. So this is just strictly just for the application process, informational. This was information we have for that. And so, we saw that number and thought it's probably could be a good fit to apply for the grant for that purpose.
so I didn't ask, so this one says the amount. Does it have to, if you attach this with the application, do they base it, that's what the amount?
The grant is for up to $125,000, so,
Because
We'll have
costs
to
go
find
up
out,
so
yeah.
much.
yeah, I don't know that we have to apply for the total amount. Or if we apply for the total amount and just use it, because it only costs 80,000 or whatever it's gonna cost next year. I have to find out how that works, I guess, to determine the exact number that, that we're gonna apply.
Industry standard cushion 15%.
You've already talked to.
Yeah, Shelley from the grant.
What's that?
Sorry, spoke to Shelley. from the
Yeah, Shelley.
WBCFIA, yep.
Yeah,
And
okay.
she confirmed that we can use it for that building.
Okay.
So I guess we just look into that,
She'll help with
To
the
apply.
process and applying process and everything.
Yes, I've spoken to her about that. Yep, she's great. Yes, so.
We don't have to make a motion for her to apply, she can just, that's part of the job.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that, how that
Yeah,
works, so. Okay.
Thank you.
And when do you think all this will come through? Do you have it? If we would get the grant, when do you think it will come through?
Well, I can't remember what the approval time period is, but it would be used for the 2027, January to December year, calendar year.
Well, I'd put in a little extra because it's going to go up.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
If it's,
Yeah, it's not
this
gonna say that.
maybe it's the case that we apply for the total amount of the funding. And then- Right.
Yep.
I'll clarify that with you.
Good deal.
Reports.
So, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I only had one thing, it was an email that came from the planning, Renner County Planning, from the Milsha, sorry. And it was verbiage, she wants to add verbiage to the website, I made copies of the.
Oh, yeah.
And I just need to know, is that anything that someone needs to look at before we, or are we okay to just update that verbiage?
We need to update some other portions on it too.
Which part is he taking out, do you know?
It's adding, I believe he wants to add, requirements for asbestos.
Yeah, he just wants to add information to the website. Well, as far as demolition permits go,
Right, we're fine.
and that they need, asbestos survey done.
Yeah, then for the work session.
Now, whoever can add it to their website, it needs to go on and add it to it. You know, we do.
That's all, yeah, you don't do that.
Well, I don't think we need to.
I don't need it.
He just go.
Put it on the next agenda to approve that, if do it, and then we have a Jeff, Lauren, put that on the next agenda.
We can say it just needs a.
Well, it needs updated, but
Yeah.
we are running through the submission. Yeah, put it on the agenda, and all that, yeah.
Anything else that you?
No, I think for everything else.
Okay, I forgot to add, August 9th, I met with the Aubrey Stewart program, Dad's Dudes and Little Princesses, and spoke to them. Had a get together, pool party. And then, August 12th, Mineral County Day Planning Meeting here in the commission room. August 13th, Fireman Association meeting and the Ambulance Authority meeting over in Burlington. August 13th, walk to the courthouse. I also went back to the tax assessor's office, talked to Jill. August 15th, over Short Gap Gun Bash. Also August 15th, worked there at Summer Jam. 17th through the 20th, I was in Tennessee. August 21st, welcome kids back to school. Also the 21st, sit here, met with Jennifer, talked about the courthouse project and stuff, and then walked through what things need to be, still continue to be fixed. August 21st, also met with Lauren. And then August, what else on 21st, Paul went to Pat Amoruso's office, looked at the windows stuff. 22nd, just came down here to make sure Dutch was drinking enough water as he was paving the parking lot. Thank you, Dutch, by the way, for all your hard work and all that. We really appreciate that. And that brings us to the day.
Right, I had an aging family services meeting. I went to Kaiser High School to welcome the students in. I went to Region 8 signing. I've been speaking with a lot of the other counties, sending them messages that I get on text about, the Merle line. I don't know, if anybody's got anything to send to the PSC, you gotta do it by September, they gotta receive it by September the 8th. And also, I've been helping Sarah's house, picking up food and stuff up at the Eastern, Action Building in Petersburg. I've done that, so. Of course, I've been in here too, but I don't write that in whenever I come in here to them, talk to them.
So of course, our last meeting, I was on vacation, so 16. August 19th, at a planning commission. 21st, you guys forgot to say this, met the students at the Frankfurt High School.
Yeah.
When they started their school year, met them at the door when they were getting off the bus.
Yeah, I was at high school.
That's kind of high school. And, then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was working on the millings on the lots out here. Yesterday, I had lunch with Jonathan Adler. He is the the executive director of West Virginia Association of Counties. And talking about, we got a meeting tomorrow with, it'll be a Zoom meeting tomorrow with some other counties and talking about jail bills and trying to come up with a plan as far as the legislative season to see if there's anything can be done about it, but I don't know, it's a rough road, but, and of course, there was a lot of phone calls about Morrill and Valley Link and taking care of County Commission Association stuff.
Are you all on your time?
Yes.
Not really, because I spend most of the day reading your text that you send us.
But that's what
I mean, you're talking about 20 hours a week, that's probably.
Okay, because, I know we got a request on audit on some of the other employees, so, and I know that's a big thing that they're
So
talking about.
you have to see it?
We'll need documentation, yeah.
You have it in your calendar there.
No, I don't have it.
We can go through even like in the minutes where I list of things, and you can almost say you spent, an hour at this meeting, you spent 2 hours at this meeting, and that's
I
one
can do
thing.
that, but I
Yeah,
don't know how many hours I've read your comment.
and then, this project alone is gonna cover you guys, and just
Yeah,
reading
that's-
emails,
yeah.
so.
People wouldn't
Um,
believe.
I know.
You sent, how many did you send out the other
Like
day?
salary,
Was it just-
you work 24 hours a day.
You said about 20 out
Answer
just.
phone calls for, it's ridiculous.
The one day,
I got 114 out of the past 3 days.
yeah, the one day it took me, well, almost an hour, it took me 55 minutes
Yeah.
to send out all those,
Go
to
back.
forward all those emails.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
I would just put down that you.
Yeah, I haven't
Take 40 hours.
had time to go through them. I got 114 since last Friday.
Yep. It's crazy.
My box is filling up fast and I can get it in. And then, of course, I'm still working on, getting data to my vendor to get last year's fiscal, financial statement, and then, of course, then we have to start this year's financial statement. We are pretty much balanced out, last year. There's only like 3 things that we have to clean up. And, everything's looking pretty good. We're already starting election mode. Ballots would have been printed tomorrow, but I have to get the new language for the levy to my printers, so that'll kind of hold up getting our ballots. Ballots will be received by the 18th and will be mailed out by the 18th of September, so things are gonna start happening fast. And now we got bills, exonerations, and
We
estates
want to discuss the date real quick on.
on work session. Is
We're gonna be in here September 1st anyway.
that what you're looking for?
We do? Well, yeah, we're gonna be in here talk about the Comcast line agreement.
Oh, yeah. I won't be here for that. Not here, guys. I'll be out. I won't be back. Have a good night for it. It'll be, yeah, you will be there for them, and something comes up, you want to put on, so.
So,
When are you leaving, Jason?
I leave, the morning of the 1st, so I'm available the 31st.
What about the 31st?
Yep.
what day is it?
That's my day, it's Monday.
Post the meeting tomorrow. Yeah, post the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah. So she would add to the agenda, walk through
The punch list
much less.
Okay.
items and, to look at the magistrate area where the water had come in, under the door and created an issue.
I leave Tuesday morning at 6 in the morning. Okay. I'll get back Thursday night, so the 31st or the 4th.
So 4 AM park.
For Roger.
Just what?
4 AM would work for you.
I'm up.
Turn around, everybody go.
Not a problem.
Breakfast, everybody leaving, I'll take everybody go.
31st, if everybody's okay with it,
I
sorry.
think I'm okay on the 31st.
31st works for me, works good for me.
So on the agenda would be budget, walk through and what else?
We'll walk through, punch list items and then also to look at the magistrate area.
Magic.
And this his K9 thing, want me to talk it into
What is,
the K9? And we gotta put that on there in case he has the prices he's talking about.
if he's got it. I don't know if he'll have it, but Monday or not.
And budget obviously will include increases in budget.
What time Monday? 8:30? 6 o'clock?
I'm good with 6.
6 for me.
I just see the expression on her face.
Get up at 6 to feed the dogs.
I love
let the
it.
dogs
I
out.
love it.
No.
They were like,
When?
The night owl?
What time's good for you? 9 o'clock?
8:39 or
9 o'clock's good, cause that gives me time to run to the office.
9 o'clock.
Ready.
Okay, 9 o'clock. I was just joking, I said 6. But I'm up.
at that time?
Oh,
or-
who, me?
I have up at that time, but I have a
I'm
little,
up.
have a little one at home, so.
You ought to be looking out the window, see if you see any more bear.
So should you start with the walkthrough first, cause that,
That give you more time to do it.
well, now I'm just thinking, cause I'm gonna do the walkthrough with you too, but that way kind of like an idea of cost wise too, if there's some other things that we have to address that's not part of
That's
the
a good
contract.
idea.
So
Yeah, let's do that. Let's,
start with the walkthrough.
yeah, you want us to just meet down at the courthouse, down in your, where you want us to meet at?
Or do we have to make it official on YouTube?
No, we could walk through there, and we ain't taking a bunch of people walk through there, are you? And then we'll be back here by 10.
So,
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go walk through it now and be back here at 10.
Am I allowed to go on the walk?
You sure?
I'm gonna inherit this contest.
Well, we'd like for you to come over, but we'll probably be here 10 o'clock. We'll be here at least 11:30. That's lunch too, isn't it? So, yeah.
We should have dinner.
boxes coming out.
Hey, as long as it's okay with the boss and it doesn't get into any grade.
You gotta go through the ethics committee.
I can't feed it at election time, the girls' election time anymore because I'm running.
9 o'clock.
And buy us off.
Here at 10.
we're gonna meet down there at 9 or?
Yeah, down here at 9. Well, you can come up here if you got something to drop off there, but we'll meet down there at 9. And then that way, that'll
Sounds good.
save from everybody coming in here at 9 o'clock, 7,
Sounds good.
if anybody comes.
I'll have the list.
You're not allowed to bring pizza no more?
Can't feed the election staff.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Well, I don't,
He can bring it.
you can bring it for her and Cody and.
I'm just-
He can bring it, we just have to pay for it personally, or he just picks up the tab and doesn't charge.
Yeah,
Promise, Jim.
we're allowed so much.
Well, Lord always says, don't eat foxes, eat dogs anyway, so.
Was a misunderstanding, a miscommunication.
All right, you got the bills here, we can go through.
Yes, and, I did ask Eileen for an update on the ARPA funds. So there's 3 projects with ARPA funds left. Does the ARPA, well, they just need to sign off once we get, just initial the bottom since it's not
Oh,
an
they want
accountant.
initial volume.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Does the funds have to be spent by the end of this year? Or what?
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking too, is they have to be spent by December. Cause there's about $61,000 in projects between Fountain PSD, Frankfurt PSD, and Farfadale.
So how much does Fountain have?
Fountain has $35,164.26. Frankfurt has $1,063.54. Carbondale has $25,816.78.
Okay, so I forgot to mention this. So Fountain was asking me about the ARPA funds, how much they had. And they were looking at, some equipment. And if they could use that money for that equipment. Is that,
Is that in their scope of work? I don't know what they,
so that was was that for the Power Hall project?
I believe so.
And this would be for like meter setters and stuff like that.
I think you have to do a change of scope because the scope of work was what was filed with the documentation to the federal government.
Who would make that designation then?
Region 8.
No. I'm not sure. We probably have to check with Eileen, but I'm not sure who the contact is for that. I don't know if there's documentation at federal level. Or maybe,
Okay. Well, we need to see what the original scope says at the beginning.
yeah. And then there's also interest in that account. And we have not moved that interest into general county yet. For some reason, I was only thinking it was like 13,000 at one point, we held that money in there till the end, just in case something didn't come out right. But I think we need to probably go ahead and, we just need to make sure we move it over before the end of December. We had that.
How much you appropriate on that?
$25,816.
Can I just get a copy of that sheet?
Yeah, this was, yeah, that was in my email. I have it.
So when we get a copy and get this back to you?
No,
Oh, no, we're gonna have her make copies. She said, she doesn't need, she was in her
I
email.
can't, I did Joel's signature. I don't need Roger's signature.
Okay. This meeting went pretty fast. 3 hours.
No.
Yeah, like with everything that was on the agenda, I thought. Yeah, there was a lot on the agenda. Thanks.
Well, which these went to the last commission meeting, they just needed your signature. That was some of the ARPA and exoneration. And Roger, this one set of exonerations, you just missed one,
Yeah,
so.
all right. Well, that lady never.
You don't need my signature on this first thing, do you?
Just an initial,
Just an initial,
but
okay,
it's not in a jacket.
okay.
The one lady never, called in.
No,
Did you get the list of names of people that?
I was trying to get them. If anybody popped in the middle, I might have missed them, but I did, send the copy of the draft order for the levy to the auditor's office. It's a service they provide to make sure that we are, perfect in the language and so forth, to make sure it, and I did put a copy of the code section in there with the levy behind it. The requirements that it, the purpose, the amount and so forth, to make sure we're in compliance with that. The auditor's office did have 2 recommendations. One concern was that did not have a clause in there that should the ambulance authority be dissolved, if we were still collecting funds, and, that clause was not in there, that where those funds would be spent at. So, you know, the ambulance authority is very involved and very active at this point. I don't know if that's something that you feel should be in there. Because I don't have that language and I need to get it to the printer like ASAP. So I was kind of like, well, I didn't have that in there. The other concern was that she, you know, to make sure that understood that, you know, that there was 2 levies in place, which we knew that because this was going to be the difference between the fire and ambulance, the 1.12 plus those 7.9, bringing it up to the 2 that's with the fire. So that was her 2 comments, and the one was, you know, she said it doesn't change it because it meets the requirements, but that was just a recommendation that she had in there.
He got it for me. Well, elected officials didn't get it for me.
If they apply for one. A lot of us don't. I don't usually turn in for money. But that's up to them.
Punch list items, is that something that Fairchild comes back and this is on their dime or ours?
So that's, those items are discussion, or that we need to look at, do we hold them to?
We are holding their final payment, at least I.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, the issues we're running into, I think, like. What they might say it wasn't on you, like in the punch list, or, and I don't have access to the original punch list. There were discussions that were made, or that were had, and I don't know, conversations that were had that were not documented, there's a lot of, it's just a lot of, there's a lot of a lot.
Whatever they're gonna do, I figured that.
So, yeah.
Whatever they're gonna do.
It will be probably. They go through September,
Is it for auditor?
yeah.
Okay, auditor training.
Oh, this is their, for their meals and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think the elected officials got a per diem.
I kind of agree with him, and then you can go, just give them an update on the open. Check with the people.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
And I just now thought of it.
What's that, Jason?
So Lauren giving us an update on open checkbook and the software and all that stuff. Sounds like the whole state has moved under one software.
But no, one format.
One format, sorry.
Yep. We've been communicating quite regularly.
Who's that sheriff's department, Berkeley, you knew exactly where it's. Going through.
Where it's looking inside the building, or?
Where's it coming through at?
Area, there's an area outside of where it's actually, the other side goes through, so it's, an area where they might process evidence, I guess.
I know where the other is, yeah.
Okay, so it's like the room. I've been in there one time, so, this.
That's where it's coming in at, but we don't know where it's.
We don't know where it's coming in from.
What's the quote term, this on the flat road versus?
It's a flat.
Most
Doesn't have to be
likely,
a
yeah.
flat.
They also included in, they talked about these mats that they can put around the HVAC units that when someone's repairing, you know, they're not, if they drop a bolt or if they, something step and it punctures that metal or that rubber, you know, so these mats, I guess, would help with that.
Basically a double layer of rubber.
Yeah, yeah.
Part.
That's reference being used for something that should not be used. Yeah.
So.
This was the last meeting, that was in here to sign, so.
That could be causing some of the issue.
Survey.
Yeah.
Get
your rowboat.
That's already, oh no, I don't remember that hearing.
Will this be your?
And then the 11, 12, 13, 14.
Georgie's still on that. I would say, on this survey, should it be on home address or should it be, can it be the commission? Address.
I prefer commission.
And there's a,
Yeah.
there's a
prefer that.
number and stuff. Or just commission about something on that, some other point.
Commission number 10.
Yeah, we do. Are we good at exonerating that lady for that much money?
So you say she wants more? They don't more put it on.
She apparently got on that.
Now, when did the Burlington Ruritan move to Pearl Hall?
What's that?
Pearl Hall address in Burlington Ruritan was,
Maybe that's just who take.
this Robert.
Caretaker's probably Robin McDowell.
Yeah, of course, they probably Robin taking care of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Robin and Mike.
What do they think?
Well, that's the exonerated.
Oh. Their safety was on Cooper property and it's, we take it.
Yeah. You pay taxes on it?
When I'm born.
I know, but do you, I thought maybe you'd be exempt since of Ruritan.
You can get a new barn, I hear they.
Yeah.
Parking lot,
Yeah.
drive through all this.
You have a.
Well, is that your
Cat
barn that they
sanctuary.
were, your cat's barn? Did you know who did it? Or are they gonna refix it?
Yeah, the big one right now.
Just that, Marlon says you can use it, get tax exempt for cat sanctuary.
And that is true. I mean, people see barns and they drop off cats. All the time.
A lot of people like them, but they don't like,
It gets out of hand
oh, I agree, 100%.
and then they're not fixed and then
I
we
wouldn't
got
think,
issues with rabies and
I wouldn't think chicken farmers would want to around their places.
no, you wouldn't think. They put out so much, that poison that they put out so potent.
Exists in a self-contained box where they go.
You know, we got so many,
Get to the poison area.
we got so many cats around our house. We have seen 3 fishers over there and here's this some, they're just, take a ride on your bike, see they.
No coyotes out.
We don't have, we got a lot of foxes, but coyotes is like they moved out.
Saw my first fisher last year. I didn't realize what it was because I hadn't seen one out there. And it took me a second to realize what it was.
You know, you can't kill them.
Were they protected?
You gotta trap them on them.
Yeah, trapping them.
I'm not
This is
going to it. This-
I went down.
Last year's papers, measured 32 inches. That was just from paperwork, not all the other stuff that they did. Almost 3 feet of paperwork.
It'll get worse because you guys gotta figure out how to balance. Yo,
I was sitting over there cooking up one morning, seen weeds and jumped up on a log and took it, but it was a big, jumped right up on a log and looked at it.
now you can still get a farm, we still get a permit, I think, to the DNR. If it's an issue with livestock.
I wouldn't shoot, I would go.
2 weeks ago, I was out in the, 2 weeks ago, I was out in the field there, the litter shed. And we had coyote in broad daylight right across the field.
Oh, you can shoot coyotes.
Well, I mean, this one is.
Those are ones you needed. Did you sign anything?
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay. You found the top one? Yeah. Did you now?
You just sign them all,
Did you
did you?
sign the top one?
Isn't that the
No,
top?
I did not
No.
sign the top.
No,
Oh,
you're
did I?
that's the top one, your
Up
hand.
here, up here. Yeah, I signed the top.
That's a separate.
Why do I have to sign that?
Oh, I didn't do that.
Cause you're the first committee. For the opioid stuff. As being a smart aleck.
Okay.
That was the only ones we had to sign on there, wasn't it? Just.
Yeah, you guys signed him last time, he was by
Just the
Zoom.
top.
Like in the middle, well, I was in the middle of the Atlantic, I was actually at Port Canaveral. Had to watch rocket go off that day. That was cool. I didn't know it was happening, I wish it would. Next time I go for it, I'll record it. It was only about, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles from us. We was in the pool in the front of the ship. And you heard this big loud roaring, and there was, they have glass over top of or something over top of the pool. And I really think it was just to keep the UV rays out so that people could be in the pool without getting deathly burned. But there was, metal and glass over top of the pool. And you could look up, you could see that glass and stuff rattling. And you could feel it in the pool, you could feel the whole boat or the whole ship just shaking and carrying on. Then you look over there, goes that rock.
They didn't announce it initially? That is, I mean, people are probably freaking, I've been freaking out.
Oh, that was impressive. I think, like I said, I didn't
Put up mine
get
for
the
them
recording.
time. I didn't worry about the second page, because we're not doing anything on it.
Okay. Sounds good, thank you.
It was one of the SpaceX rockets with the, satellite.
Yeah.
Internet.
You scan it.
Oh, nice.
So how long were you gone?
left on Sunday and come back Sunday. We
How far down did you go? Did you?
went to Port Canaveral and then Nassau, and then, Royal Caribbean's private island, Coco Cay, which is right next to, right beside Nassau, not far.
Our 30th, we did, Amsterdam up through Norway and back to Amsterdam, but I didn't want to be where it was hot. Tracy wanted to go, because her family's Norwegian. And, so we enjoyed ourselves. But it took us, we saved 10 years to do that, but we knew we wanted to do it for our 30th.
It wasn't too hot, the humidity was low most of the time, we tell, but except for we come back, on Saturday was coming back. Water was rough, it was really humid. And that was a miserable day. Then you went and got in the pool, you couldn't even get cooled off in the pool.
Think it went clear down.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's the bad one, you're just sitting there going like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we ever get a chance, I would do something again.
You just want to glance through the names and then we can make a motion to approve everything
I hear a motion to approve the accounts payable
or purchase orders.
and purchase order
I make that motion.
I'll second.
and exonerations.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
And a motion for the estates.
I make that motion.
And I'll second.
I keep wanting to say emotion. Every time like I catch myself, I make that motion.
Adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second that. Motion for Roger to stay here signing paper.
Okay, then.
Yeah, we second.